Good morning. Hello. Goop, I have a question for you. And good morning. Uh, have you finished the Elden Ring DLC? I ask because I haven't either. If you haven't. What are you having for lunch? Flute salad. No, okay, good. Because I haven't either. I got to the last boss, and he kicked my ass for a solid 3 hours, and I went, I'll come back to this later. And that was like months ago. I have not gone back. Um, I'm thinking about maybe next stream going back and doing some classic Elden Ring, but I might be playing the final boss. So I warn you now. I'll put it in the stream alert if I do that, so to ward you away if you don't want spoilers. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I was thinking about it because I just haven't gotten around to doing it. Also, welcome. This is Brighter Shores. This is made by the guy who made, or one of the guys, one of the founders of the original RuneScape. Um, who basically he made RuneScape. He was around for a long time working on RuneScape, and then he got worried about the expectation from players and things like that. So he sold RuneScape to a publicly traded company for a lot of money. Um, and then that was about 10 years ago. Then he had a 10-year-old non-compete clause where he was like not allowed to at least like he had a non-compete clause where he wasn't allowed to make a similar game. And it's up now, and so he's made a similar game. I kind of did this with the main Elden Ring where I stopped playing for a while and then get into it later. I don't mind spreading out the experience. That's fair. That's totally fair. I shotgunned Elden Ring real hard. It's supposed to be game audio. Yes, there is, though very light game audio. Thank you for asking. I forgot to turn it on. There you go. You get to hear my nice sawing sounds. There's no music. I turned that off. I'm going to turn my own music back on in a second. But yeah, this is the audio you're missing. There you go. We're sawing trees. We're cutting trees today. Okay, I found out something. This game has a lot of weird quirks. In a way, it really reminds me of like RuneScape Classic. Not old school RuneScape, but like RuneScape Classic where everything was in 2D. In that, like, back when they made RuneScape Classic, for example, skills were very like they didn't expect anyone to ever get to 99 of anything. That's why it was such a high requirement kind of thing. There were people on the server who was like, oh, that guy has the highest skill of whatever, because it was a new game. And it was like more impressive at the time. And they're trying to do that again with this game. It feels like they're trying to achieve that same feel where you only need, like, if you look at my wood cutting here, you only need yes, you can continue to cut stuff that no one else can cut at like level 500 or whatever, but no one's gonna bother to get to that, because you really don't need to. You only really need to be at like 20, 25. I'm getting to 35, not wood cutting, but 35 carpentry for a particular item. But yeah, so it's interesting. Also, there's some weird design decisions, but it feels more like the weird design decision of someone who's designed this in a vacuum and hasn't had anyone to say, hey, this is a weird design decision. Like, for example, you see this right here, this bank, this timber bank. I can store cut logs into that. Not cut logs, but like worked logs, like stuff I've turned into planks and things like that. I can store in this timber bank. And over here is inside the lumber mill where I make timber is the lumber bank where I store the lumber, and it can hold any number. Like, you can see there's a little portal inside, like it's the lumber bank. It's got all the stuff I need. I can only take half at a time. And like fucking sorry, I'm thinking while I'm processing. It's a whole thing where there's a bunch of different banks all across the world. If I fish some fish and I want to take it back to the fish bank, I would have to. Actually, the main fish bank is actually for ingredients, and it's only for some fish. But I would have to take it all the way back to the place where you cook, the chef, like the restaurant, essentially, and drop it off there, and then run back to fishing. I found out that there's these little. I've been seeing these little strange symbols on the ground. I didn't know what they were. It turns out what they are is a mobile bank that is littered across the world. That if you go up to it and you touch it, and you just say deposit all, it will deposit everything that you have in your inventory into its correct banks in the right places. You never have to. You don't have to like leave your gathering spot, which makes gathering so much better for the whole game. This little thing is locked behind 35 or 36 carpentry and like 20 woodcutting. Like you cannot get this like integral piece to the game's design that makes it actually like not an not like awful to play until you go grind out your carpentry. It's like, why Andrew? Why have you done this to me? It's fine. It's whatever. I'm doing it now. So can I make this? Can I do this? No, not yet. 32 carpentry to make a shield. But yeah, it's weird there's 32 carpentry, but it's like not listed here. Whatever. I should go back here and see if... Actually, you know what? Some of these early things I might be able to do stuff with now. Hold on. Timberbank, open. So if I look at the ash plank versus the rugged ash plank, sorry, the coarse ash plank. Let's take our coarse ash planks and see... Sorry, rugged ash planks. And see if we can do something with them. Because coarse ash planks is 32. I wouldn't be surprised if rugged ash planks had a thing that happened that I never noticed. Because it wasn't on the list. 32 carpentry to make an anti-acid shield. Did I grab the wrong pranks? Coarse? Oh, I guess no matter what, the coarse or the rugged makes the anti-acid shield. Okay, interesting. Because here's the other thing, is the skills are area locked. So, like, I can only do carpentry and woodcutting in gathering, I guess, and ignore the left ones, in Hope Forest, which is where I am. If I go back to... Look at this fucking map, by the way. If I go back to Hope Port over here, I don't have access to those skills because there's no trees, you know? But there's, like, a coast with fishing, and I can cook there. Apparently you can't cook anywhere else, but, you know, and I'm never going to find any trees in the mine or in the city, you know? It's interesting that it's sectioned off like that. It's funky. It's a funky system. Also, it might sound a little stuffy. My nose is fighting me. Fighting me. The nose. Oh yeah. Did you guys see that? This is unrelated. I don't know if y'all use if you use Instagram group or not, but they recently have declared that you can no longer follow hashtags anymore. It's kind of annoying because I used to follow like the painting Warhammer hashtag or like the hashtag for my particular armies to see how other people painted the same stuff that I'm into. And that's not gonna go away, so I'm just gonna be stuck with whatever they fucking recommend to me. It's annoying. I wish it weren't so. But it was nice. It meant that like my Instagram feed was like my friends, Warhammer stuff, and cats. You know, like I had a unique ability to tailor it to exactly what I wanted, and now they're removing that. So I don't know why, but it's a thing. Oh wait, my music. I meant to turn the music back on. It's fucking dead silent in here. What is the music for Predators like? I don't want it. We're turning the music back on. In theory? There it is. Also, I do like that there's not a whole lot of UI to cover up. Oh, dang, I don't really look at Instagram very much. I yeeted X and signed up for Blue Sky recently. Yeah, everyone's been doing that. I never had X, so not as like a, well, I never even had X. Like, legitimately, I just didn't have it. That's cool. I feel like I'm gonna sound like a hipster for a second. Oh, loud music. Hello. I've never really liked the Melania soundtrack. When I say I'm about to sound like a hipster, I never really liked some of the aspects of social media, especially Twitter, in that, like, it's not anonymous, but it's kind of anonymous, and so people use it to, you know, manipulate people either intentionally or not, in little echo chambers of their own that they've created through following people and or cause conflict through people not being able to hear tone or seeing stuff in a very black and white manner everywhere across the board for everyone. And I don't know. I think a system like Twitter, like a global message board like that, is weirdly inherently not good for us. But there's no undoing that box. There's no putting the evils back in Pandora's box. And so I think that as long as it's like in the big reference between like Blue Sky or Twitter, the lesser of two evils is still evil, but it is still lesser. So I agree that Blue Sky is probably the better option. In fact, I was probably going to what's it called? Set that up for me for streaming stuff so that not everyone has to be in the Discord to get my announcements. Although, not that I'm really announcing to very many people, but still, just like as a fallback. Yeah. Because I think I still have my Twitter listed on here, but I used it like once. Also, I'm one of those people that refuses to use X. I dead name Twitter all the time. I'll never dead name a person, but I'll dead name Twitter all day. You can't stop me. I'm unstoppable. But yeah, no, I'm probably gonna be doing the same thing soonish. Though I worry that basically what's gonna happen is that I called it Twitter until I just deactivated. I just think it's funny to ignore the fucking name that what's his face was like, we're gonna name it this. You know how many times he's tried to name a company X, by the way? There's like a whole list of times where Mr. Musk, Mr. Elongated Muskrat, was like, I want to name this company X. Like, he did it with PayPal, he did it with, like, Tesla. Like, there were several times where he put forward, like, a motion or whatever to rename the company to X, and no one was ever having it. And he finally got it. He just had to pay several $1 billion to do it. It's fucking funny to me. That it was just like it's like when I was a kid, I played Pokemon Coliseum. Okay, we're gonna put this on a woodcutter because we need to catch this up for later, for when I have the ability to afford the clippers. In Pokemon Coliseum, one of the options that you get to as like your starting name it's like Wes and something, but like Seth is one of the starting options in your name. And unsurprisingly, my name actually does start with S. Again, I don't know why I hide it. It's literally in my about page. You scroll down on the main page of my fucking Twitch, but whatever, it doesn't matter. It's more fun. It's a little mysterious. Anyway, it does actually start with S, and so I saw another name that started with S that was way cooler than my name, and I was like, damn, I want to be named Seth. And so I spent, like, every time I made a character of anything, like, for a long time, that character's name in my head was Seth. And I thought it was so fucking cool. And it feels very much like that with his X thing, where he's like, oh, I'm gonna name a company X. You know how fucking cool that is? And it's like, no, it's stupid as fuck. Whatever, dude. Yeah, no, duh, your first name is Sparrow. That's right. That's right. You know how long it took me to train? So, you know that thing I do? You may or may not know this thing I do, where I'll do a thing and I'm like, Sparrow, what the fuck are you doing? Like, I'll talk to myself. Do you know how long it took me to train to not to not just use my own name with that? Or I'd be like, Sparrow? Because it has the same like starting sound, so it was very easy to like, you know, go the wrong direction. I still do it sometimes, but it again doesn't matter. Nothing on my stuff is actually actively hidden. If anyone takes any time to look, you can find my name, you can find my face, like, it's super easy. Because I use the same handle for my actual private Instagram. So like, it's right there. And of course the name is, you know, in the about page. And I like listening to old school RuneScape music while playing Brighter Shores. It feels right, you know? It's weird that he's gone for the RS3 art style that no one likes, though. I wish it was a little more cartoony. I think that would have benefited them better if everything was more cartoony looking. Like, it is pretty cartoony, but like, it kind of just looks like, it's like sort of cartoony with all the environments, but the player models are like someone attempting to make realistic player models, and I don't know. I think it'd be better if it was just like everyone was a little. It'd be great if we were all like little fucking creatures running around or something. You know, like something really fun and interesting that sets itself apart from the other random, you know, shit. If we all had like fun little races, we could be like orcs and goblins and whatever the hell. I think it'd be neat. When I say my name is Goop, my captions always say poop, so maybe I should just give in to that. I wonder if that's an accent thing, or if it's like just the captions just can't figure it out. Because you don't have a strong accent. It's a very, very light. Everyone has a very light accent for there, no matter where they are from. No matter where they are from, everyone has a very, very light accent, and it's different for even people from the same area. It's different, and I'm just curious if it's like related to that, or if it's not. You know, if it just happens to be the captions. Because I know, like, things that I say would definitely get captioned strangely, just in the way I say them. I don't know how it would pick out, you know, that thing that you look at yourself in? The mirror? Listen to how it's not mirror when I say it, it's mirror, M-E-E-R, mirror. You know, shit like that, where it's just like, I don't know. The captions are perfect, I think, but I definitely should enunciate better. Shouldn't we all? There's, I'm very talkative today. There's a streamer that I watch occasionally. She's from the Yogscast. Her name is Boba. She sounds like she has a really weird, like, European accent or something. But she's from Florida, spent her entire life in Florida, and grew up there. And what's happening is, her parents got really on her to enunciate all the time. Like it was a big thing of theirs to be like, you have to enunciate. And so she enunciates every word very carefully, like just speaking, but she can still speak pretty fast, but she still enunciates all the words, and it sounds weird. Although there are some weird sounds that she also uses, but in terms of like weird formation sounds for the various words and things. But for the most part, like if you just go find, hold on, I'm gonna link her stream. Look at this later. Oops. And just like listen to grab a random VOD and just go in the center and listen to her talk, and it's a fascinating. It really does sound like she has an accent from somewhere, but it's just mostly enunciation. There is some weirdnesses in like the E's and the A's, but I think that's a Florida thing, you know, like Florida, you know, like that kind of thing. But it's that sound combined with enunciation. Yeah, no worries. Super interesting. Super interesting. Am I out of my skill points? Knowledge. How much knowledge is it per tree? $29, okay. Basically, we're going to be doing this to get knowledge. I mean, we're cutting trees until we get to 22 wood cutting, because I can't buy my tree loppers, so I can't get the coarse hickory branches. So, we are doing this until we get to 22. woodcutter so we can get oak logs, rugged oak logs. 1 second. Anyway, we're doing this till 22, and then we're going to use the extra knowledge points we get. Our next knowledge is going directly into the AFK version of Carpenter. We're just gonna like unlock that. But after that, every knowledge point we get, we are going to spend on money, because I want a skill. I don't want to stop and make money through other skilling methods. I want to focus on this skill. So I'm just going to spend those knowledge points on money and use that to buy the tree loppers that we don't have. So that's the plan. One second. Okay. Oh, I got tagged in a thing. Guys, where can I buy a saw? 1 second. Right here. This man. There we go. We're good. What was I tagged in? Christmas hammer? I see. Oh, it's a tag to remember that I'm in charge of that. Right. Yeah, yes, every other word sounds like British or something. I like it though. It's nice to listen to. Yeah, exactly. She has a very interesting like cadence on stuff too, which is also part of it. But yeah. She's fun. She's one of the Yogscast folks. She's like the first American Yogscast, I think. I think she's moved to England, and I think that's part of it. Is that I think part of the Britishness is also she watched a lot of these Yogscasts like growing up, and so some of her mannerisms and words and things are actually British, and it doesn't help that she's living there now. So, and I think they haven't talked about it, but my guess on who she's living with is also British, so that will also affect the way you speak too. As someone who talks to someone, my partner is not historically, but like their mom, they're like direct, like, you know, parents one up are from England, and so they have a lot of British phrases in their vocabulary, and I've started to pick them up too, even though I'm not in the same boat. Like the closest my family is to outside of America is my grandmother's from Germany, right? So I have a lot of weird German sounds and things I make from my mom, but it's all diluted, so it's interesting. But they have a more direct line to British phrasing and will use it constantly. For example, this is one of my favorite examples to use. There's a thing they say when they don't want to do something, but they don't want to offend you. So you're like, hey, we could go put some cats in a bag and shake them, you know? And they would look at you and go, oh yeah, could do. And you never really hear an American go, oh yeah, could do, you know? Like that kind of thing is very much a British thing. But I've started to pick it up myself now. They're like, oh yeah, I could do. I've said it a couple times. And I've just noticed that like it's like the osmosis of words is so quick. It's so fast to pick them up. And so I wouldn't be surprised if Boba also has like a bunch of British osmosis in the way, not only that she's pronouncing words, but in the way that she's using words. Boom. Boom, boom, boom. Ugh. But yeah, she's fun. She's a good time. I've lost my train of thought completely. I'm only in trees now. We tree. What's our knowledge at? I wish I could just like pin sections of the interface, and I wish the interface wouldn't go away. Like, I wish I could be like, oh, keep this open. And I just like to keep the bar open, you know? Though it would make it feel slower, but... 54. Okay, so it's 1 knowledge point per tree. So you have to cut 100 trees for a knowledge point. So every 100 trees, we're gonna get 13 gold, or 13 silver. And we need like 70 to get where we're going, and we're at 30 something. I'm sure there are faster ways to get silver, but I also want to get this up, so I'm doing a 2-for-1 at the moment. I wonder if there's a thing I can AFK on in RuneScape at the same time while I'm doing this. There's nothing that I want to AFK on in old school right now, really. Because I'm technically doing tithe farm right now, which is the least... It's farming, which is normally AFK, but tithe farm is like, let's make farming active. I say some things just from watching Mecha. He's Welsh. I told him I stole his phrases. Yeah. I knew... Okay. I was wondering, because Mecha also has an accent, but I couldn't quite place where it was. I was like, it's some form of British. And so my guess was either... not Wales. I didn't guess Wales. I'm stupid. I guessed like somewhere like north... like Norwegian-y, kind of like, you know, the Nords, or because they all speak English pretty well, or my other guess was South Africa. I don't know why. That was just like that weird like South African Dutch like sound that was in my brain. But Welsh totally makes sense. Did you know that a lot of the characters in Elden Ring are Welsh? Like Ronnie has a pretty heavy Welsh accent. Ronnie/Renna. And Blythe, spelled that way, is a Welsh spelling. Yeah. I think it's because George R.R. Martin, like the names and stuff for people are some of the things he wrote, and so he has a lot of like Welsh influences and things on his writing already. Just because it's a fun, because he's British, and it's a, I think he's British. Wait, is he British? Hold on. Before I say that. No, he's American. He's American. I'm a liar. Anyway, he has a lot of Welsh influence because it sounds cool. Doesn't matter if he's British or not. Welsh stuff sounds neat. And so he uses a lot of it. What else was I gonna say? Fucking... I don't know. I lost track of my brain again. Oh, please. I really still need to go through my music and just trim it. Because some songs are just not it, you know? The Metopia stuff was fun for a bit, and some of it's good, and some of it is like that. And also, the Animal Crossing stuff is too quiet half the time. Like, I have to find ones that are good. Ooh. Altus Plateau. Hell yeah. That's gonna be nice and ambient. Stand right there. There we go. I wish I could click like a million tiles away. I know why I can't. What I really wish is that... Okay, here's the real problem. Talking about this thing. There's this problem with this map where you can click on the map to move, which is cool. And you can click up to like 2 tiles away. Like I can click that far away and my character will just move there. That's really good. I know why they don't want us to be able to click anywhere on the map and just wait, because then you can just check out of the game, right? And they don't want that. But what I would like is to be able to click here, like I want to go here, and it'll move me 2 tiles away, and then and then it'll go to that spot. But if I click here again, it'll like route me 2 more tiles as close as possible to that direction. Because like right now, if you click like somewhere far away, you just can't click. So if you're trying to move 2 tiles away, right? Like I want to move, let's say I want to go here, and I know I can only move 2 tiles. But if I try and like click into this spot, or I click just slightly off here, I can't go anywhere because I'm not clicking only 2 tiles away. I really wish that I could like click far enough away and it would only move me 2 tiles. Like it wouldn't make me go to the next area. It wouldn't auto path. It would just go, we'll go this far. So I could, in theory, if I wanted to go somewhere, just click on that spot over and over until I get there. That is okay. I feel like that is okay. But I don't know. Whatever. I'm getting all the notifications. Let me set this as unread to come back to this. All right. Fucking back out to the trees. Oh, related to games like this, I saw the new Minecraft trailer, the new Minecraft movie, the newest trailer, and it opens with the line, "When I was a child, I yearned for the mines," and I don't know how I feel about it. It was funny. It is funny. I'm glad that that line got some use in the mainstream because it's a good fucking line. But it's weird to hear memes used as like real dialogue for a movie. You know what I mean? Every time it happens, I'm like, oh, that's not gonna age well. But I think that one might. You know, like that one might actually be like if it's, even if no one remembers the meme, it'll still be like, oh, that's a weird thing to say. That's kind of funny, you know? And it weirdly has inspired more hope for that movie, though I do think it's not going to be good. I do think there's going to be a lot of like, isn't that crazy? It's made of blocks or whatever the fuck, you know, that kind of stuff. They're trying, I complained about this last night. I saw Gladiator 2, and I was very happy that they didn't do this in Gladiator. Because I haven't seen a movie in so long where they didn't do this, where everyone's trying to be Guardians of the Galaxy. Everyone wants their movie to have the irreverent, quippy nature of Guardians of the Galaxy, and everyone wants to be like, what a dick. Aren't you a dick? That's funny. I called you a name. You know, that kind of shit. And that's good when it's a novel thing, when like it's a movie that is rare that it does that. It works. And for some films, that style does work. Like, Tarantino does a lot of that stuff with his dialogue, but that's because his dialogue is weird, and everyone calls it real, but it's very stylized, and that works because his movies are stylized. But when you have like a superhero movie or whatever the fuck, just some random action hero garbage in a good way, it's weird to me that they're like, well, we gotta make it quippy and irreverent. Everyone's got to point out silly, stupid things out loud. We got to hang a lantern on everything. And you don't need that for every movie. And I was so happy that Gladiator took itself so seriously. Now, I will say, I don't know if Gladiator was a good movie. It was a fun movie. But I was so relieved. It felt so nice to watch a movie where people, as silly as some of the things they were doing, they did it with a straight fucking face, you know? Like, and as low budget as some of the scenes were, or felt, everyone was like treating it dead fucking serious, and I love that. I was so happy. It was so refreshing to have that in a movie, and I'm sure that the reactionary or the reverent quippiness of the others movies is like a reaction to movies taking themselves seriously for so long, and so we're on the upswing now from that where now it's too irreverent and we want to go back to serious movies and things, but still, it was nice. I'm going to look now for more serious movies for a little bit, just to give myself a break from the quips. Because hot damn, I'm so tired of them. I didn't realize how tired I was of them until I got somewhere where there wasn't them, and I went, oh, this is nice. Ugh. I know why I'm so talkative. I'm halfway through my Red Bull I bought the other night. Which means at the end of this stream, by the time 4 hours come by, I'm gonna be dead. I'm laying on my fucking desk going, nap time. Red Bulls are great for keeping me up, but I get such a hard kickback when they're done. Like a couple hours after I drink them, I am so toasted. I'm just so tired. And same thing with like DMing and with streaming. As soon as I finish streaming, almost every time I finish a stream, about 10 minutes after the stream, maybe sometimes half an hour if I'm lucky, I will be asleep. I will have gone to go take a nap because for whatever reason, it takes a lot of like brain energy, and I recharge my brain energy through sleeping. So, as most people do. And same thing with DMing. Like if I DM a D&D game or something, and then I finish and it's like middle of the day, I will go to sleep. Or if it's like late at night and I finish, I will not stay up for much later. Once I get to home, I'll just collapse, you know? There's just something about the performing aspect that is so tiring, but it's fun, it's worth it. I don't even know what it is exactly. Like what is causing the fatigue, you know? Also, did you know that the XP curve in this game is not a curve? It's XP cliffs. So when I got to level 20, where's the experience? Hold on. Brighter Shores XP curve. So it's kind of fucked. Experience. So the amount of experience you need to get to level 19 is 32,000 experience. Okay? That's, you know, sure. Whatever. We're getting hundreds of experience per tree. That's not that much. To get to level 19, 30,000 experience. 32,000, excuse me. However, to get to level 20, it's... Where is it? You need 21. So 35,000 experience for level 20. And then to get from 20 to 21, you need 53,000 experience. So literally half the experience you needed, more than half the experience you needed to get to 20 is now what you need for 21. It jumps so hard. Like, I need 3,000 experience to go from 19 to 20, and then I need 17,000 to go from 20 to 21. You know? It's a wild jump. And so the methods I was using that got me to 20 real fast are now taking a million years. I've been cutting trees for 40 minutes and I've made it one level, you know? I don't know. It's a funky system. What are we at on... RuneScape has similar, like, XP curve stuff, but it's way higher up where it becomes the problem. Like, in RuneScape... The difference between level 99 and 92 is the same amount of experience from level 1 to 92, but at that point you have better experience things that you can get. And we're not going to turn it into gold just yet. We're going to get these so we can do the AFK stuff later. We can't do it yet, but because we need the silver for the tree loppers. But that will be a thing we do, or I set myself up to do, because I need the wood cutting and the carpentry. And you can do the AFK stuff while you're logged out. Oh, my nose is fighting me today. I might go take a Claritin in a second. I don't know why. Why today it's like, oh, hey, guess what? Fuck you. Fuck you. Trees. I was wondering why so many people were like cutting ashes for so long. This makes sense now. I understand why everyone's running around here for so long doing this. I just saw someone named Iron Brew. There he is. Iron Brew. That's a drink from Scotland. Scotland! It's like an orangey soda thing. Did he just stand? Oh, he's probably safe, yeah. Some of the names have been interesting. I'm, of course, as you might expect, Verbose Pharaoh. No underscore, though. Actually, no, there is an underscore. The underscore is part of my name now. You know what, weirdly, this feels a little faster this time. It's not. It's not any faster. In fact, it's going to be slower, but it feels faster. And I think that's because, comparatively, I only have to gain a little bit more experience compared to what I did last time, versus the 20 to 21 was a huge jump, and I felt it immediately. You know? But we're just going to, again, we're going to cut these logs till we hit 22, and then we're going to do all the wood cutting, or all the carpentry for these logs, because we need to get carpentry way ahead of wood cutting anyway. I don't know if it's going to work that way. You might just have wood cutting in tandem with carpentry, but We'll see. I do like this weird like card system where it looks like a magic card or something. It's interesting. And in theory, I could be selling my wood, but then I'd have to buy more wood to level carpentry. So no, I'll just get it myself. Thank you. That's the things that people have been doing where like they hear about the thing with carpentry and they won't do the wood cutting. They will just like purchase the lumber from the lumber guy in here and do carpentry that way to get to the 35 or 36 or whatever it is to do that quest, in order to get the teleport stones, the little mobile banks. I will not be doing that. I'm gonna have to train these skills anyway. Might as well do them at the same time. Plus, I mean, there's this idea of like, it's an MMO player, you know how Magic the Gathering has like player types. MMOs have their own player type system thing, although the names are a little bit outdated. I think they could be reworked. But essentially, it boils down to like achievers, socializers, explorers, and killers. And in the original design of this, killers were people who only killed other players. But I would lump killers in with anyone who does any PvM, right? Jimmy did a video recently on this, and I agreed with him. As soon as he started talking about killers, I was like, oh, PvM. And then he was like, yeah, PvM. I would say that I, personally, and everyone is a bit of everything. It's not like, oh, you are just this. It is, what are you mainly? Like, I would say that I'm like 60% an achiever, so someone who would like to run around and get like skill capes and things and show off the cool stuff. 60% a socializer. No, actually, that's 120%. 60% achiever, 20% socializer, 20% explorer. And then my extra 10%, which that's 110%, just ignore it. That'd be like killer, Like, so the main thing I enjoy in games like this is, doing a thing that I can then show off to other people and be like, look, I spent the time to do this thing. That's the kind of stuff I like. For example, in World of Warcraft, they introduced a new crafting system last expansion that let people basically specialize into crafting things. And then there became a whole system again, like it was just like the olden days. But it was like, essentially, I had spec'd entirely into weaponsmithing. Like, I was a smith, and I spec'd entirely into weaponsmithing, and I got mildly known on my server for being someone you could come to get to smith you a raid-ready weapon, which was super cool. And I could advertise in chat, and I did a whole thing. It was like, if it's not one of my weapons, like you're not doing your best, like that kind of shit. And because I had taken the time and had spec'd specifically into weapons, if anyone had asked me to make them a breastplate or something, it would have been garbage tier. Like, it would have been something that they could have made themselves, basically, because that wasn't my specialty. I was a weaponsmith. And it was really cool, and it's still really cool. And I wish that, like, I had the drive to do that stuff again. Like, I think I get too distracted when I play WoW, or I want to do too many things at once. I think either next expansion or this expansion, I might settle into do just the story and the crafting aspect only, because the crafting is really what I enjoyed, The rest of it I could take or leave, but what I really enjoyed was like being able to just advertise in chat that I have this service or whatever for making stuff, and then just hang out, And I think that might be what I do potentially in the future, or even like mid-expansion. It's a little bit tougher because, especially if you fall behind on the graphic stuff, because there are all people who do this as their main thing, and they will like push ahead. And like, if I wanted to jump in right now and become a specialized crafter, first I'd have to choose a craft, and then I'd have to like level that character, and then it's a whole thing. But at the start of an expansion, it's very nice because like not everyone's still choosing stuff, and people are still not sure what they need, and crafting gear is more relevant. Although crafting gear is sort of always relevant now with the new like system, but still, I think it would be the next thing that like I hook into. At the moment, I'm not playing WoW just because like I was pissed off about their $90 auction house mount. That really irked me. But I feel better about it now. But it did really irk me before. I was like, this is fucking stupid. And it got to a point where I was like, all right, I don't really care. Actually, it doesn't really affect me. I wouldn't buy it anyway. But it's annoying to me that has shown up, and it is a terrifying slippery slope. And they're already falling down. It's not like, oh, I see a slope in the future. It's like the fact that you made a $90 auction house convenience fee mount essentially is ridiculous. Like, I was fine with the auction house mount being for people who had a lot of like in-game gold, and yes, technically you could buy in-game gold with real money through the bond system or whatever it's called in WoW, and but no one was going to spend that much money. No one sane was going to spend that much money on the WoW tokens needed for that mount. So it was safe that it was pretty much just anyone with real life, with you know, in-game gold, and then it was a cool achievement that someone could have. Like, look, I have the really expensive mount because I had a bunch of in-game gold because I play the auction house, you know, that kind of thing. And that's cool. I love that for them. I don't love the everyone has to buy this mount. Now has to, but like, if you want to be efficient, you now have the ability to spend $90 on this mount to be able to access the auction house efficiently. It's fucking silly. Someone pointed out recently on Reddit that like there's this there's a chest on the back of the mount that's not used, and it was likely that it was also a bank access point at some point, and they decided that it was too much to add a bank access point, which I guess is some self-awareness, but it's not enough to not release the mount, like, or release it on the in-game store or something. And I was thinking about subbing back again, but I mean, I got a lot of MMOs I play already. I probably don't need to do that. Not until I have a real job again. I mean, I'm technically still employed by Disney, but again, they haven't paid me since August, so I've been like slowly whittling away my funds since then. Damn it. Ugh. Trees. What do we got on knowledge? 44%. This next knowledge point will be another 13 silver. I don't remember how much the tree loppers are. Hold on. Brighter Shores tree loppers. How much are they? 72 silver. So at a current rate, how much silver do we have? I wish I could easily see that. Where the fuck is my silver? Tool belt? Okay, my silver's on my tool belt. I've got 34. I need 72. 72 minus 34 is 38. 38 divided by, what is it, 13 experience we get per knowledge point? Or 13 silver? So I basically need 3 knowledge points. Which is 300 trees, or it might be less. It'll be less trees because I'm also going to be doing stuff here with carpentry. So that will also get me knowledge, because when you get knowledge by training skills, any skills, and I might have to go trade up my combat anyway. Also, so if we get to 22, and then we do carpentry, and we've run out of carpentry stuff, and we still don't have enough knowledge to get the money we need for the tree loppers, then I will go do combat for a bit, because that'll also give me gear that I can sell and or wear. So yeah, that's the whole thing. And I do need to level up Scout anyway to finish that other quest. I'm not a huge fan of the fact that like the combat professions basically reset. Like, just give me a combat level. And just give me gear that works across the thing. I understand this is part of your design, but like, it just doesn't feel good. I don't know. I'm fine with the skills being region locked. That feels fine. That feels good. But the idea of like the combat skills also being region locked, I don't want to go to a new area, because like I just know that I know that, you know, I have to start over in the combat. I have a whole new gear setup I have to keep track of, and etc. etc. It's annoying. I'm discussing RuneScape leagues. By the way, in 4-ish days, what day is today? 22nd? Oh shit, in like 3 days. In 3 days, roughly, when will it be the 20? Hold on, I don't know when Leagues releases officially, like if it's like midnight for England or what, but in roughly 3 days, I'm going to disappear into a RuneScape hole because RuneScape Leagues will be happening, which means in 3 days, for the next like month, most of my streams are going to be RuneScape. And I apologize if you don't like RuneScape. That's what's happening. I was mentioning Elden Ring. Fuck, that's not happening. That's not happening with Leagues happening. Maybe it is, but like, I love League so much. It's such a good time to play old school RuneScape because like, it's a temporary game mode that gives everyone increased experience rates and increased like abilities and things, and it makes a bunch of bosses that are usually out of reach for me like actually in my reach, and I love it a lot because it lets me learn things, lets me do content I wouldn't otherwise do, and like I get to do it at like a faster rate, and I can get items that I would never have gotten a chance to use. Like, hi Metopia, this song is, I'm gonna skip you. Like, for example, I got to do the Rev Caves for the first time ever last Leagues because there was no one in the wilderness. And, I mean, there was occasionally a single PKer that would show up. But, like, for the most part, there was no one. And I ended up getting, like, 2 of the Rev weapons. I got the, not the Chain Mace, I got the other one. I got the Thameron Scepter and the, or Thamon Scepter, and the Crossbow. Not a crossbow. Cross, C-R-A-W apostrophe S, bow. It's his bow. It's Crossbow. I got the crossbow and it was just fun to use. Like, I just liked how it looked, and I liked that it was a charge system, and like that kind of stuff. I would never have like tried it. I never would have like gone out and bought it because it was expensive too. But now I have, you know, now that I eventually had the gold on my main, I went out and bought Thamon's Scepter and the crossbow. Even though I don't go in the wilderness, I just like them, and they're useful tools for like going out and doing like, you know, Slayer or something. I don't need to bring, you know, a bunch of ammo or whatever. But is it also a crossbow? No, it's just a bow. Hold on. It's a cool looking bow though. It's like a bird bow. Crossbow. But it's neat and I like it. Honestly, for old school, I think I generally like. In the past, I've always been like a melee guy. I've always been like, oh, the melee stuff is really cool, like the god swords and the whips and the dragon claws and stuff. But honestly, I'm leaning more towards range as I get older. Oh yeah, we're murdering these trees. They're getting fucked. Listen to that music. Can't see it, but I'm doing like the cat jam. Is cat jam a thing? Hold on. No. I need a Verby jam. I don't know what that. Hold on. Cat. No. Jam. No. I also have like the better Twitch emotes thing, but I don't remember how to use that. I have it installed. I don't remember how to use it. Better TTV, that one. I have it installed. Oh, it's not on though. Weird. Okay. Anyway. That's a thing for later. So many tree. We're gonna have so many logs to carpenterize. Carpentry skill won't know what hit it. It's gonna be great. We're just gonna sit there and cut logs, and it'll be semi-half AFK. Semi-half AFK. And then I can just sit here and talk to you. Ooh, that's right. I have enough time. I have energy to open a new Pokemon TCG Pocket Pack. It's pack opening time, baby. I can open a booster pack. Damn right I can. I can open 2. Let's open a Charizard pack. I've been opening mostly Mewtwo ones, so. What do you got in you, boy? Okay, nothing. Ooh, Machamp EX. That's pretty good. We're getting there. We're getting through some stuff. It's funny, I've paid absolutely $0, but they gave me a free trial for, like, oh, have a free trial for our special premium version where you get a special pack that has a higher chance of a rare every day. Like, there's a separate set of packs you get access to. And I started the free trial, and it was only for, like, a week or whatever, or a month, I don't know. But I did the free trial, and then I immediately canceled it. So, like, I just got free extra stuff, and I have a bunch of rare cards from that little free trial. Or at least I think that's what got it to me. I could just be lucky. But yeah, it's been fun just to fucking collect stuff. Ooh, I've got enough, it's booster pack opening time again. I had enough, what are those called? Hourglasses. That's the word I'm looking for. Clavipus, Snom. Well, good start. Okay, Doug Trio I didn't have, which is nice. Do you play Pokemon, Goop? Have you ever played Pokemon? And if so, or even if not so, who's your favorite Pokemon? There's also a website for that, favorite Pokemon picker. If you don't know, it goes through literally every fucking Pokemon and basically finds a way. Like, it asks you what your favorites are. There it is. It just compares Pokemon. Like, what about this one? What about this one? And it'll be like, all right, what about these? And it'll ask you, so you can see, like, your favorite fighting Pokemon of each generation, your favorite, and also your overall favorite, what your favorite regional bird is, like, stuff like that. Here is mine. Hold on. Export choices. Oh, that's awful. That's an awful way to see that. Download image. Image.png. Oh, it's such a huge image. The point is, here, I'll put this in the Discord, actually. Played OG Red, in Blue and Yellow, and Crystal, but haven't since then. Yeah, that's fair. But I like Fire Pokemon and Cat ones. Have you seen the Fire Cat Pokemon? I also always like Growlithe, but they have some very cute cat ones in newer gens. Yeah. Here, 1 second. Let me... Where's the Discord? There it is. That's not how you spell related? That's how you spell related. Okay. Come on. Upload. There it is. Okay. Anyway. There it is. That's my list. The important stuff's down at the bottom. So you can see, like, my general styling. It's actually pretty fun that, like, there's an obvious, like, through line. I don't think so. Who is the Fire Cat one? So it starts as a Pokemon named Litten. I'll send you the link right now. As in, like, a lit kitten, a Litten. It's a starter from one of the later gens. Whoops. And was my starter in that gen. I usually go grass, but Litten was too strong. If there's a cat, I'll go cat, but if there's grass, I'll go grass. You know? But yeah, so there's Litten. Litten does eventually turn into a giant anthropomorphized wrestler. So that's a little interesting. But as a kitten, as Litten, it's very cute. But eventually Litten does get swole and have a big wrestling belt, like a WWE belt. Jesus. Slow down, Sparrow. Christ. Tripping over my own words trying to talk too fast. But yeah. Litten's actually in my, or Litten's evolved form, I think it's in my favorites somewhere occasionally. Might be in the fire types. No, in the starters? Oh yeah, Litten is in my favorite starter for its generation. Actually, you can see my starters I picked like across the board, basically. Grookey is the best, though. Also, I love that my team, like the default, like, okay, this is what your favorite team of your favorite Pokemon would be, is like almost entirely Ghost and Dark types, because I'm an edgy little boy. Wait, not a little boy. I'm a little edgy boy. That's a better way to put that. There we go. The phrase, the order of words there is important. Yeah, Litten's cute. I'm a little edgy boy. There we go. And always have been. I've always been the kid that was like, unfortunately, it's scary enough for my parents. I've always been the kid that like really loved the villains and everything, and I was just like, I want to be that guy. And it's always like Darth Maul or fucking Darth Vader or whatever. Like, it was always the villains. I just ran with 2 Star Wars characters, but you know what I mean. Like, just anyone that was like, I'm evil for the sake of being evil. I was like, yes. And like all the characters I would draw as a kid had like sharp teeth and like red eyes and stuff. Like that was just my favorite like styling. And unsurprisingly, in like Warhammer and other stuff, I'm always playing the spooky evil guys. Money. For instance, Trench Crusade just came out, and everyone's evil, but I still found a way to pick the worst of the worst. And I was like, oh, I'm gonna play the fucking the Black Grail, which is like essentially Nurgle stuff, like disease and horrible things. This is about to get really gross for the next 30 seconds. I'm warning you right now. There's a guy in Trench Crusade called the Lord of Tumors, and he's really neat. And he was actually what got me to like look at the Black Grail stuff, because he's the main Black Grail character. But his model is disgusting. Like his art in his model he has a tumor and it's leaking pus, and there's a guy under him catching it in a dish. And you're like, okay, it's just like a weird, like, reverential thing. And then you look over, and there's another guy next to him who has a similar dish, and he's drinking out of that dish. You're like, Jesus fucking Christ. That's so fucking grim. But it made me go, that's awful. Where can I buy one? Like, it was immediately like, it's just, I always find the worst of the worst. There we go. They're cool. I don't know. Definitely not eating or anything at the moment. Sorry. I warned you. I said it was going to get gross for the next 30 seconds. But yeah, there's a bunch of cool stuff in there. Black Grail's fun. Trench Crusade is a really interesting idea. Without getting too deep into it, because I will just go off on the whole thing. The idea is that, like, during the Middle Ages, during the Crusades, some Knights Templar basically accidentally released, or accidentally made a deal with a devil, and essentially opened a hell portal in Jerusalem. Like, Jerusalem itself, the city, got eaten by the hell portal, and now it's a battlefield, and has been a battlefield for hundreds of years. There's a prophecy and there's all kinds of religious, it's all very religious, but like in cool ways. Like, there's a prophecy in Islam that, like, at some point, you know, demons or devils are going to invade the earth, and God is going to provide the Islamic faithful with an iron wall, essentially, protect them from the demons and devils. And in Trench Crusade, in the history books, this happens. Like, literally a literal fucking iron wall comes down around, like, the Islamic countries, essentially, and protects them from the devils. But the devils start getting through, and so the year is, like, basically 1910 or whatever World War I happened. So that's what the Trench part is about. It's World War I technology, but everyone's fighting devils and stuff. Because they've been fighting devils forever, and everyone's super, like, oh, that's a trench pilgrim, you know, like, your basic people are, like, dudes that have, like, you know, demon hands that they've nailed, like, as if they were, like, nailed to a cross, but nailed to their shield, you know, or crazy nuns that run around fucking just covered in blood. Like, And that's the kind of style this is. But it's fascinating because it's like, it says the question, what if it was World War One and also all Judeo-Christian religions are right? All of them. What if it's World War One and everyone is right? And it's a fascinating world to like look into, like lore-wise, and just especially because there's a lot of stuff in it that they do specifically to leave mystery. Like, there's a thing in the timeline. If you go look at the website. So I said I wouldn't go off on this, but I'm gonna go off on this a little bit. If you look at the website, there's a there's like a timeline of events, and one of the timeline events is like, you know, the church space program or whatever. Or there's something in there that's like the city of Antioch or something like that. I don't know if it's Antioch, but it's like the city of blank is taken by God and is no more. And that's all it says. All it says is that it's been taken by God and that it is no more. And there's no clue whether that's real or if it's like propaganda, like, oh, they actually just lost the city or something happened, like a new weapon from the forces of hell, or what. All they say is that it's gone and that it was taken by God, and that's all the info that's there. And that kind of shit fascinates me, where it's like, what is happening? Why did that happen? And I want to know it, and I know I'll never know it, you know? Anyway, Trench Crusade's got some fun stuff, but I like the people of the people who follow Beelzebub, which is like the disease devil. And so the disease devil guys are my favorite little models. I think they're neat thematically. Which makes sense. I like Nurgle stuff too, so yeah, when the official models come out, I'm probably going to get a couple of them just to paint them up. I don't know if I'm going to play Trench Crusade, because it is a game as well. But I just like to read about lore stuff and make little models and choose a team to root for, essentially. But yeah, I forget how I got on the Trench Crusade topic, but it's a fun thing. It's a cool thing. Went from favorite Pokemon to Trench Crusade. I don't know how that. Yeah, I have no idea how that happened. Weird. Why didn't Chick get a streaming notification? Huh. I don't know. Goop, I don't think I ever asked you, or did I ask you? You might have told me, and I probably forgot. Where does the name come from? Why is it your goop? Is it your goop? Is it my goop, as in my goop? Where did you get the goop? These are the questions. I need to know them. My curiosity is boundless. Also, man, the urge to become a quote-unquote real VTuber is so large. I have the technology, I just don't have the model. I would do it, though. In a second. If it's your group, you need to declare it for tax purposes. Good morning, Dandy. Hello. Welcome to Tree Cutting Simulator. If we hit 22, by the way, I'm just going to finish out the inventory. Like, if we hit 22 before we finish this inventory. I don't know if we will, honestly. Hi, I've been here. I've been here. Hello. I try not to, I used to do this thing pretty constantly, where I would know when people were lurking or not. Because I would constantly just check the users in chat. Like, there's a button that lets you see users in chat. Users in chat. And it shows you anyone that's in the chat, but, like, at all. But usually it means, like, who's watching your stream. And I used to check that constantly. And so I would know if someone had shown up just to watch or whatever. But I'm trying to... That's fine, because I have a stuffy nose, for real. And I've been trying to ignore that, though, so I don't constantly check it. Because it's a little obsessive. Oh, fuck, I'm full up and I didn't level. So it's a variation of a nickname my IRL girlfriends gave me. The ma part isn't really... it came from Michelle. Ah, I see. They call me Magoo, Magooter, Magoop. I see. Why did they call you Goop, though? If you're willing to share. If you're like, it's just a thing. guess I decided to spell it muff for no real reason. I mean, it's good. It's good. It's good. It makes sense. Alright, we're not gonna finish the inventory if we hit 22 at this point. We're just gonna chop what we can to get to 22, and then turn it into planks. We're gonna have so many planks. Come on, 20. Yeah, we're done. We're free. Spoon, you've no room to question nicknames. Doesn't mean anything. It's just goofy. Yeah, that's fair. And to reply to Dandy there, you're right. No, I'm just curious. I'm saying it's not like a why. What is this? It was just a curiosity thing. Because I do also have a bunch of like weird nicknames from friends. Like, I get Spoon, I get Spooner, I get Spank. Someone once called me Speenus. I've gotten a lot of nicknames. So I can say nothing, but yeah. My cousin calls me Spank constantly. He never uses my actual name anymore. It's just funny. Because it's, he does that one, though. That one has a reason. That's not just a silly way to say my name. He literally, or not literally, but he and I, just friends being silly friends. Exactly, yeah. I did also have another friend who would call me Spoon or Spooner and never actually use my real name either. But fucking, or Spoon Man. There's gonna be a lot of carpentry. Here we go. But no, my cousin started doing it because we had this, one year during, we used to spend the, so I live near to Pasadena where they do the Rose Parade for New Year's. And so every year I would, Spoon Man. Every year I would do, I don't know what song you're talking about. You have to link me. Or, I don't know if links will work in the chat. I don't know if Nightbot's gonna censor you or not, but either way I'll see it. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know that one. But anyway, I live near Pasadena where the Rose Parade happens, and so I would stay overnight basically on the sidewalk to hold a spot to watch the Rose Parade, like up close. And my cousin and I would do this pretty much every year. And one year when we were like 16, 17 maybe, we made up a language, sort of. We didn't make up a language with like, okay, these are like the basic sounds, or like, oh, this is how articles work. None of that stuff. We just started naming things. Like we would point at a thing and be like, Scorbingi, you know, and like give it a name, and then we'd write it down. Like, okay, this is a Scorbingi, and we'd have phrases for like, how are you, like, you know, whatever the fuck. I don't know. The point is that we had weird fucking, you know, weird little language, and my name in that language was Spiank, and so he continues to use it to this day. I forgot what his was, but I think it was like Manus or something. But yeah, I've never heard of Spoon Man. You know, I can just look it up. Hold on. You don't have to link me. I'm on it. Spoon Man. The fuck is this? Soundgarden, you're so weird. Okay, why is this song good? Like, why is it actually good? What is happening here? That's wild. Yeah. Soundgarden's crazy. It's just a funny little guys. But I'm surprised at how good that song is, honestly. Like, immediately I was like already into it. That's going on my Spotify. I like, I like Soundgarden, and I know about them, but I had never heard that one, I guess. It's literally their third most played song on Spotify. I don't know how I missed this. I'll put Black Hole Sun on here too. Forget about bands like that, like regular real bands. I have vague memories of listening to this while playing some weird like PS1 snowboarding game or something. It probably was in the game if I had to guess. A lot of the snowboarding games and like skateboarding games went off of the Tony Hawk style and basically did stuff like that. Yeah. God, I have to keep running back and forth to this fucking bank. I'll lose my goddamn mind. Why isn't this bank in there? Why is it out here? In what world is having the timber out here useful? Question. Because it's the workshop where I would need the timber to use it. It's fucking in here. Why isn't the bank in here? Why is it out there? I understand if like the lumber bank was out there. Like it almost feels like that they're supposed to be swapped. That like lumber bank is supposed to be out there, or they should just both be in here. Why aren't they both in here? Well, I'm gonna complain about this in chat. Why the heck is the... Why the heck is the timber bank outside, Andrew? Explain this to me, Mr. Gower. Also, Cowboy Danny. Oh, yeah. You hear that? You're funny, Dandy. It's official. Oh, God. Listen to the music. The intense ash plank making. Am I getting knowledge on this? I think I am. But is it 1 per again? No, it's... yeah, maybe it is. Hold on. 66. 67? Yeah, okay, it is 1 per, which means we're going to get 2-ish knowledge points again, which will be exactly the number we need, actually. Perfect. We chop all these logs, we will get enough knowledge points to get the money that we need to get the AFK method for chopping logs and doing things. And then I can use that myself for when I log out, which will be nice. That'll be so nice. And I hope that there's no tool I need for this. I don't think I need a tool. Yeah, no. I just make it. Okay, good. Because there's no tools listed. So, fucking thank God. Hey, Maurice. Wait, I don't want to talk to you. Get away from me. We're depositing this shit. Because this can get used for shield crafting. Which is, I guess, is a skill eventually. And so I'm going to hold on to all this stuff so that I can make it later. Not that I'm going to be really, probably using wooden shields. I'm probably going to be heavily leaning into blacksmithing because I'm a cryonite, and cryonites have a lot of, like, metal stuff. So. I have to do this 12 at a time, though, so this will be a whole system. This will be a whole process. That the last one took, you know, an hour and a half. Watch this. At least I don't have to keep clicking as much. Like, the clicking is not as intensive. I have little moments of intensive clicking, but it's not a whole lot. Now, it's not fully AFK. I can't, like, do tithe farm at the same time, but, you know, it gets close. Oh, yeah, there are XP potions and stuff, but I can't be asked to make them. Hey, gunk. So many games I want to play, and the music from all those games doesn't help me go, I have so many games I want to play. Anyone reply to me? No. They ignored me. Gower! Shake my fist at you! is it out here? Why is it out here? Uncle Daddy. Hey, Uncle Daddy. We do do do. Oh Lord, I have a bunch of emails. Why do I have 11 emails? What is this? Now I have time to look at my email. Wow, this is a bunch of nothing. Why has this been sent to me? 2 of these emails are important. The rest are not. And the most important just as like a, you know, a heads up a thing happened, you know? I feel the Red Bull losing its power. I'm not in crash mode yet, but it's losing its power. Thankfully, I still have a little bit more left. Oh, big stretch. Wait, can I walk? Hold on. Good get it here. That's my guess. Let's see if I make it. You know, people really just... Side note, I just saw that I got a reply to a comment on Reddit, and people really just assume that if you're saying something is like different to you, they assume you're saying it's bad, you know? And it's really annoying, like just on the internet in general. Like someone made a post, about like, you know, the way, like listening to audiobooks as an American and the audiobook having a British narrator, how sometimes it's hard to, like, you sometimes words don't sound right. And I mentioned the fact that, like, the word beta, you know, like alpha, beta, delta, that kind of thing. The word beta, said with a British accent, the way they say it is beta. And I was just like, yeah, it actually confused the heck out of me, because there was, like, a book I was reading where there was a guy who had a ship, and his ship was called the Beta. But the entire time during the book, he would say, like, I went back to the Beta, you know? And I was like, what is this name? Like, what does it mean? Like, I was trying to figure it out, because I was only listening to it. It was an audiobook. So I went back to the Beta. Okay. Well, I guess the ship is just called something weird. And then someone said something like alpha, beta, and I was like, oh my god, it's beta. Like, I realized. And beta, as weird and silly as it sounds, is closer to the original Vita, right? Like, that's how the original, like, Greek, like, Latin was pronounced, was, instead of beta, it was Vita, you know? So they're closer with their beta. But it just sounds weird to me. And so I just mentioned on like a Reddit post, like, hey, that sounds weird to me because I'm an American. Like, this is the thing that threw me off. And I got like an immediate reply that I didn't notice till just now. Someone's like, well, the way you guys say with beta is way wrong. And I'm like, that's great, dude. That's not what I was... You're right. But that's not what I was saying. I wasn't saying our way was better. I'm just saying that, like, you know, it's different, and it confused me. Christ alive, dude. Just people are so ready to take offense to everything you say and to tell you that, no, you're wrong. That I'm just like, bro, I'm just talking about my experience having, you know, grown up with this is my language. This is my dialect. It's whatever. Just as like, you know, God damn it. Can no one just go like, oh man, that's crazy. They have to tell you you're wrong and why theirs is actually the better way. Fucking people, man. Related to that, did you know that nearly every single, like, native peoples on the planet, including, like, native, like, you know, the people native to the British Isles that eventually got, like, attacked by Rome and France and things like that, like, anybody who was native to anywhere, they always had a name for their people, like, to use modern examples that you would know, like the Inuit or whatever, you know, like they have a name for themselves. Every group that has ever named their people, if you ask them what the translation of their name means directly, it always means the people. Which implies that everyone else isn't people. And every single culture does this, where they name themselves basically the people. And I think it's like pretty emblematic of like how people see others, where they're like, I am a real person. I am the people. And people that are my people are the people. But everyone else, they don't count. You know? It's fascinating. And we totally have this like built-in fucking tribalism stuff going on, and I don't think there's any way to remove it. But it's just funny how quickly you can see it happening in like online forums and stuff. That like if you say you're from one group, people will immediately, or say you feel one way, they will put you in that one I feel this way tribe, and they will find every way they can to just show that you were wrong or stupid or discredit you or call you names or whatever, because if they disagree, it's like, well, if we disagree, then we are of different tribes, and thus you are no longer the people. And it's like built in, like ingrained to our fucking brains, and it's wild. And I do this shit. Hands up, guilty. I've done this shit so many times, and knowing about it doesn't help. You can know about it all you want; it'll still happen to you subconsciously, which is the even more frustrating part. Yeah, the otherness, exactly. It's built into us. It's why we only have one, like, type of human. You know, there were like other types of humans at one point. There were, because we're just Homo sapien, right? Wait, are we sapien or are we erect? No, we're sapien. Yeah, we're Homo sapiens, right? There were other humans around at the same time as we were developing, right? You got the Homo. I don't know if Homo habilis was around at the same time, but like, you know. Homo Neanderthalensis, or whatever the fuck it's called, officially. Like, they were other, and we killed them. Well, we killed them and we outbred them, essentially, because they weren't a separate species, because we could breed with them, but they were just a separate, like, facet of humanity. You know, that kind of thing. Because they were other. And a bunch of our myths are probably, like, based off of stuff like that. Like, the idea of an ogre. A larger human that is stronger and meaner and is like more aggressive and will eat you, you know? That was probably based on the fact that there were other humans that were stronger and maybe not more aggressive. I think that's probably propaganda over time of like, oh, they were bad guys, so we killed them. But you know what I mean? Like, stronger and potentially faster and things like that, and we go, okay, those are the evil cannibal guys that that we got to go murder and or breed out of existence. And there's some fascinating stuff too. Like there's evidence that like that some people with heavy Neanderthal DNA. By the way, and it's tall because it's a German word, and they don't pronounce the THs like that and the ends of words. Anyway, there's people with like obvious remains that are almost 100% Neanderthal, but they have bound their children's heads so that they are shaped more like Homo sapien in order to make them fit in better with the Homo sapiens, who are the dominant group. You know, who are the ones that are the most aggressive, the ones that are actually doing the murdering and the pillaging and the forceful breeding. You know, so we win the human race of different humans by being the worst. And so we're always surprised when we are the worst to each other. And it's like, well, it's because the people that we were the worst to, we got rid of them, and now we can only be the worst to each other. It's great. It's real great. We won by being the most aggressive, and then calling everyone else the aggressors. It's, it's great. Humans, great species. We did a great job. Definitely wouldn't be seen as like the villains in any like let's say there are sentient aliens out there. If they were writing fiction about like evil aliens coming to attack and whatever and to conquer, that's us. Like we would be those evil aliens coming to attack and conquer. We would not be the peaceful aliens that we would love for that to come find us. We are the conquering monsters that have the higher level technology that are fucking or whatever, you know. We don't have that technology yet, so people are safe, but as soon as we get the ability to enslave other worlds, you best fucking believe it's happening. Are we the baddies? Yes. But you know what? Yeah. Best we can do. I could quote fucking... it's really existential. I could quote fucking Parthenaxatos about the, like, is it better to be born good or better to, like, have an evil nature and overcome it? Or whatever the fuck the quote is. And I totally see that as like a challenge for humanity. Like, yes, we may have this like literally built-in evil nature to be mean to each other and to specifically to misunderstand and otherize other people. You know, but like it's our duty to fucking do our best to push past that nature, you know? And maybe one day we can do it. Maybe we will get past our like aggressive biology. But we'll see. We're not there yet. We are definitely not there yet. That doesn't mean you can't try, though. Just because we're not there yet, and we're still at the point of wanting to conquer other places. We're still in our conquering phase. Doesn't mean that you can't push for betterness now, where you can. You know? I don't know. It's not all doom and gloom. It is just funny to me that we're always like, oh, there's always good in people, and it's like, no. The good in people is rare, but it's nice. And, you know, I don't know. There are good people, but it's a hard fought road that direction. It's much easier to be bad. It's so much easier. Anyway, a lighter topic. I said lighter topic, but I didn't really have a lighter topic. I don't even know how I got here. RuneScape Leagues is coming. Very excited. What are we saving? Almost level 32. Yeah. RuneScape Leagues is coming. That's going to be my channel for the next 2 months, basically. It's just Leagues content. Sorry about that if you don't like RuneScape. Well, if you don't like RuneScape, why are you here? No, not that. I just mean, like, that's just going to be the fucking... That's just going to be what I'm going to be doing, because I'm going to be playing my Leagues character, and I'm going to be playing it offline and online. You know. It's just going to be a thing. God, I got a cut on the inside of my right palm, right where my thumb connects to my palm, and it's really annoying me. I don't even remember how I got it, but I got it. And I was just sitting here, and I'm like, it's not touching anything. Like, I don't notice it while I'm playing games or anything. I've had cuts before that are like on my fingertips or whatever from making models that get in the way when I'm trying to play games, but this one is like just in a terrible spot. I think it was my cat, but I'm not 100% sure. No, I cut it on a... That's right. I cut it on... I opened a soju bottle on Tuesday. I have a friend who has like a drinking night on Tuesdays, and I don't usually go. Oh, wait. I don't usually ever go, but it was her birthday, so I showed up. And I brought soju to the night. Oh, this is digital. It is over VR chat. And so I brought soju and I tried to open the bottle and it had a little like piece of metal on it that stuck out, and it basically cut my hand slightly in the process of trying to open the bottle, and that's what it was. I remember now. What a morning. What a process. Sparrow, you woke up today and did you do any real chores? Did you clean anything up you need to clean? No. I cut fake wood for 3 hours. No, this is important. I cut fake wood in a game that I'm not even a huge fan of. Like, I like it. It's alright. And why did you cut the wood? So that I could so I could do better, so I could grind better otherwise. Why don't you just do that in, like, the stuff you need to do in RuneScape? Well, I have to go. Have a good rest of your day. If I don't see you again, you can't see me, but I'm saluting Goop. Have a good rest of your day. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for the conversation stuff. And thank you for the new song, Spoon Man. It's mine now. Okay. Let's go. Wahoo! Yeah! Dr. Zest. I like that name a lot. Dr. Zest. Corbett. Hi-ho, Corbett the Frog here. Mr. Muffin. These are good names. Nick. Blink 352. Okay. Blink 451 would be funny, like Fahrenheit. I don't know. Woodchuck. Well, you're in the right spot, Woodchuck. Woodchuck. You are in the right spot. He's gone. I don't know where he went. Chucks. Fallen thief. You do like Dr. Zest. Chug wood all the day. Wait, am I getting 89 experience per log cut now? Was I always getting 89 or was it 88? I don't know anymore. Oh god. Memes are people too. Doing a little dance. You know what's great? Once I finish this grind, I'll be perfectly set up for to grind. You know what this game needs? Listen here, Mr. Gower. You're not watching this at all. I know you aren't. But on the off chance, you just happen to be watching streams for your game while you work on stuff or whatever and see what people think. This is a lot of fun. I said I didn't really like it. That's not true. If I didn't really like it, I wouldn't keep playing it, and I wouldn't be paying you the membership fee that I'm paying you right now. I like the price point you chose, and I wanted to support that. Anyway, though I only paid for 1 month, I'm not probably gonna do more. Anyway, the point is just that I am enjoying this game. It's fun. I like grinding. Like, I like grinding in RuneScape. I'm one of those weirdos that kind of just grinds because I can. Like, I like having something to do while I watch TV or whatever, so I love games that do this for me. I love having games that I can look at and grind, and I love having more than one game that's not just RuneScape. Like, I can be like, oh, do I want to work on RuneScape stuff? Do I want to work on Brighter Shore stuff? And I love the ability to have an idle game aspect to it where I can, like, log out and let it go, you know? That kind of stuff, great. the moment, though, I feel like I'm grinding for no reason. You know, it's like the grind is just there to grind. Like, I don't unlock... Okay, let's take carpentry, for example. Other than this one quest that I'm working towards. I know that's a reward. That is what I'm working towards. But once I get 32 or 35 or whatever the number is, what's the point at that point, you know? What can I make other than more poles for a different skill? You know, like items for a different skill. That's what I make with this stuff. You know? And it's weird, because, like, there are other skills in RuneScape that are like, we're just comparing to RuneScape, then there's another game that has skills that you level up, right? There are other skills that are basically, they need another skill to be good, right? Like, kind of. Like mining. What are you going to do with mining except mine ores for smithing, you know? Well, actually, there's a bunch of things you can do with mining, and there's some bosses that require mining, and there's some, like, other things that, like, every skill, like fire making. What are you going to do with fire making? Oh, Wintertod. And actually, fire making is more useful in RS3 than old school, but the point still stands that all the skills have a thing, even if it's in a different game, that are useful in their own way, that aren't just there to grind. The only thing I can think of in RuneScape at all that is a skill that is just there to grind and gets you nothing is actually old school RuneScape fire making. RS3 fire making, you get like buffs and things, and you can make little like what's it called? Like incense things that you can burn for buffs. So there's a use there, and it's not a great one, but it's there. But fire making itself feels like a skill that's just there to skill, and no one likes it. You know what I mean? Except the skillers. But all the skills so far feel like a skill just a skill. Like, ostensibly, the gathering skill is woodcutting, and then the crafting part of the skill, the production skill, is this. It's the, you know, the fucking, what is it called? Carpenter. It's the carpentry. But then what is the carpentry for? Well, I guess it's for making stuff for the shield skill. So technically it's just a process, so that you have gathering, processing, and crafting skills, or like production skills, all like they're three different things. And the processing skill feels like an unnecessary step in a weird way. Maybe not in a weird way, in a normal way. I don't know. It's hard to quantify, but basically, it doesn't feel. I don't feel like I'm working towards anything except my one thing that I'm working towards. For other skills, and actually, that's, you know what? Actually, that's a perfect. You know what? Hold on. Carpentry is a bad example, and here's why. I was playing this game, kind of off and on, mostly off, since it came out. I only have, like, what, 21 hours in it at the moment, and a bunch of those were put in recently. So I only had, like, 14 hours until I found out this thing about carpentry. And I hadn't really worked on it because I didn't feel like I was working towards anything. Part of what makes RuneScape so successful is that you are always working towards something. Oh, I want to do this quest. Why do you want to do this quest? Well, it gives me an item I need, or it unlocks an area I've never been to, or and the area has stuff I want, or whatever. Well, what do you need to do that quest? Well, I need these skills at these levels. Okay, and I need these items. Okay. So you have goals, and you have sub-goals within those goals, and you get distracted on these long tracks of, like, I'm going to be doing these goals. It's very goal-oriented. You set yourself a goal, and everything you do leading up to that goal is part of getting to that goal. So, like, right now in old school RuneScape, I am leveling farming through Tithe Farm and doing farm runs. I'm doing this because I want 70 farming, because I want to get to Profitidus, or whatever the fuck it's called. I want to get there because it's got cool stuff, and I want to learn Corrupted Gauntlet, right? So in order to get there, I need to do these skills. And so I have a goal, and those sub-goal, and then it creates sub-goals. This game, I was going off and on because I didn't have any goals. I just had grind. Like, I wasn't working towards anything. Didn't feel like I was. As soon as I found out that I could get a special thing that let me deposit stuff basically all over the world, if I just got my carpentry to level 32 or whatever it was, I immediately came back to the game and started grinding carpentry. Because that was a reward I wanted. It was a goal I could set for myself. I could point at that and go, I want that. But I didn't know that was a goal because the rewards aren't listed in the quest list. Like, you look at a quest, like, it's this quest, by the way, Spider's Nest. I don't know what I'm going to get from this. I don't know what I need to do this quest. I have no way to look at this quest in game and say, that's a goal I want to set. I had to find out this is a thing through Reddit, through someone else, to, like, even know that this was a thing I could work towards. Like, I saw someone mention that you need, like, the 32 woodcutting or whatever, not woodcutting, you know what I mean, carpentry, or 35. Again, I don't know. I'll look it up later. I'm not there yet, doesn't matter. And, like, I didn't know it was a thing. I legitimately had no idea. And learning about it gave me something to do. And now I'm happily playing the game, you know? I just needed something to tell me, like, hey, this is a goal you could work towards. Sandbox is good, but there needs to be things in the sandbox for me to want to go to, for me to want to build towards. I need to be able to see them. And if they're there, but they're buried in the sand, that's not useful to anyone, you know? So it's just find ways to give us goals beyond to get to the next story quest, because I really could not give a shit about the story. And unfortunately, I am usually a story guy. There's just something about the way some of the stuff has been presented that has made me not interested. And I don't know what it is. I don't know how to fix it. That's something I could probably deep dive into and figure out. It might be a good way to learn more about writing by looking at it and figuring out why I haven't cared. But yeah, I don't know. I think it might be the removal of, like, a lot of agency I've had, because there's this main story that's like, you have to go this way, and for a sandbox game, it doesn't feel like every ostensibly in RuneScape, for example, comparing to RuneScape again, every quest in RuneScape is a side quest. There is no main story. If you do a quest, you're doing it because you want to, either for the reward, or you want to experience that quest, or whatever. You're doing it because you want to. As soon as you add a main story quest, it feels mandatory, and it feels like you have to sort of push through it as quickly as possible, you know? And if the story itself isn't, like, that interesting to you, you're gonna despise it. You're gonna dislike having to do the main story quest because it's forced upon you, you know? And that's just, I don't know. Especially in a game that is sandboxy. If the game was already like, oh, it's a shooter, here's your gun, follow the guy, like, people are expecting that, and they go into that experience wanting to do the main story because that's what they're expecting when they go into that experience. But if you give them a bunch of freedom, they're not going to want to do it. Take, like, fucking Skyrim or any Elder Scrolls game, for example. How many people have played that game, those games, and they get the main story and they don't do it? They just do the side quests until there are no side quests left, and then they do the main story. Basically, they become mega powerful outside the world and don't do the main thing. Pretty much everyone. Like, I think I'm a weirdo in that when I played Skyrim the first time, I actually just did the main story, like, as I went along. I did side quests along the way, but I did basically do the main story, and then once I was done with the main story, I did all the rest of the side quests, right? I think I'm a weirdo in that. I think most people just ignored the main story. So... And partly it's because it is the main story. Like I don't want to do that because that's like the expected path. I want to go do other stuff. If it was just a side quest, if the whole dragon thing was like, hey, you can do this if you want, but it's not like a main story to follow, it's not going to change the world or anything, I think more people would do it. I think it would get done more because it doesn't feel like you're finishing the game by doing the main story. That's the other thing. Once you finish the main story, you're going to feel like you're done because it was the main story bit. You're like, okay, I've done all the main stuff. Now only side content is left. I'm done. And it's going to make people more willing to, like, drop a game kind of thing. I don't know. Main stories are still good. I'm not saying that none of the main stories are bad, but it's for different games, you know? I don't feel like a game like this that requires you to grind for 100 hours to get further in the main story, it should have a main story. Something like Final Fantasy XIV or whatever works with having a main story, or WoW, because you don't have to grind to get into it, really. You have to level up, sure, but the leveling up isn't really a grind because you're doing the leveling up as you do the main story. Like, the main story is actually the thing providing you the experience to level up in both cases. So you're not really grinding it, you're just doing the story, and you just happen to be leveling up as part of the process. That kind of stuff can have a main story because that's their goal, that's their focus. I don't know. And there is side optional grinding stuff, but you should never have to do hardcore grinding to get through a main story thing. I know you're trying to, like, slow people down and give them more content over more time, but it just makes it more likely. It's a friction point that people are more likely to drop the game because Oh god, I have to do more. Like, there's actually a perfect example. If you watch Jimmy's video on Broken Shores, there's a moment where he's showing a clip from him playing, where he's doing the main story, and he gets to a point where he finds out that he needs like total level. He had just done the mine, like he had gotten through the mine, and to get to Chronopolis, he needed like a total level of something and like a certain amount of combat level or whatever. Like, there was something where he needed to grind a bunch of hours to get through it. And you see him just like sort of deflate into his chair because he can't just continue the story. He now has to spend another 8 hours grinding stuff just to see the rest. You know, I don't know. I think it's a poor choice, and I think what you really want. I don't think a RuneScape Part 2 kind of game is really what you're after, Mr. Gower. I think what you want is a irreverent medieval story game where you have classes and it's an MMO, like a more classic MMO, but you're used to this gameplay style now, and so you like go for it. But I don't think the optional crafting, like, it'd be cool to continue to have the RuneScape style optional crafting stuff where you level up, but it shouldn't be necessary. New World. Okay, New World had a lot of problems. Sorry, I'm thinking about this now. New World had a lot of problems, but one of the problems it didn't have was that you could have like woodcutting and fletching or whatever the fuck they had, the music skill, and it was all optional. That was stuff you could do if you wanted to, or wanted to sell stuff, or wanted to craft stuff, or whatever. That was all optional. The non-optional bits were the combat stuff, you know, leveling up your combat and doing the main story quests. Like, they didn't require the side stuff. That side stuff is still there, and it's very RuneScape-like, but it's not, like, mandatory, you know? I know you've had some success with RuneScape in having mandatory skill grinds for their quests, but those quests are different. They give you goalposts to work towards, but they're not a main story. Anyway, I think that's enough gold. We're not quite done with the carpentry, but I'm going to buy this thing if I can. And we'll see. I need a different topic too. I've been going off on the quest for a while. Oh, barely. Christ. Also, these things are way too expensive. Holy shit. For the amount of money I can make in any given moment, it's too expensive, Mr. Gower. Mr. Andrew, please help me. This is an early level tool. Please let me just buy the early level tool for a lesser amount of gold. Because at the moment, I have to choose what skills I want to actually level, or what tools I have to get. I still haven't bought the upgraded, I got an upgraded fishing spear at level 15 fishing, but it was so expensive that I just didn't buy it. Because I just don't, it was such a minimal upgrade for so much gold that I just had, there's no point. I think the other thing too, gear and stuff is very minimal upgrades. It's basically no different than wearing nothing. It's basically entirely based on level, which, why even give us gear at that point then, you know? If it's not gonna matter at all, why give it to us? There's a lot of weird redundant design like that. I don't know. Again, I like the game a lot, I'm having a good time, but it's just got some weirdnesses to it. Ugh. I have File Explorer open. Weird. Ugh. It's funny, a lot of those thoughts I didn't have any, like, I didn't really process that I had any of those thoughts about the game until literally just now when I was talking about it. They really do need, like, to sit down and speak out loud for me to fully organize my thoughts, it turns out. Or write them down or something. So I can get my critiques out about, like, hey, this is good or bad and this is why. I've always looked at, like, YouTubers that do it and I had no idea how they did it. And I think I kind of get it now. You just kind of have to start going off about it and your brain sort of fills in the gaps of, like, this is what you think, this is why you think it. And then you could take that information and put it into like a readable script and get stuff down. You know what I might do? I kind of want to make a video for a YouTube channel. I'm not about Brighter Shores, well maybe, but about like you know, stuff I like to talk about, like RuneScape or Brighter Shores, but like also like Warhammer and things. Just make videos about stuff I like to talk about, and then I don't know, upload them. I could do like book reviews. That'd be fun. Because I've read a bunch of Warhammer books at this point. I'd have to probably reread them at this point to get the book review done, or like reread a summary. Because there's been enough of them. It's been years now that I've been slowly reading them. I don't know. What's my notification? I'll get it right now. Actually, I'm just gonna do this before I forget. Google Drive. I had to drop a thing into a channel real quick. Okay. Yeah, I'm helping run like a Secret Santa thing for one of my friend groups, and because I have a weird inclination towards administrative work, like doing things like, oh, go make a spreadsheet, oh, go make a fucking Google form, go organize this group and get their schedules, go do a list. Like, that's the kind of shit that I weirdly thrive in, despite the fact that I've always considered myself like more artistic in terms of how I interact with the world. As I get older, I'm becoming less artistic and more bureaucratic. And isn't that just the way? Why did I try and deposit there? Do I even have stuff? No. We're good. I don't know why I tried to deposit in there. My brain's shutting down. There's just too much, too many logs. I can go cut rugged oak logs. I will want to do one little thing of hickory branches and, hickory cutlery. It's so weird how off this is. Like, I need level 18 carpentry to do oak planks. But in order to cut oak planks, rugged oak planks, I need 22 woodcutter. So, like, woodcutter is always going to be ahead of carpentry if you want to actually do the best thing you can do for carpentry at that time, kind of thing. It's funky. Zero. I recognize that name for something. I don't know what. I like everyone's skill caves. You get the first one like 50, right? You got a woodcutting one? Yeah, he has. He does have a woodcutting one. That's a woodcutting cape right there, it is. Did you know caffeine is bronchial dilator? I just love dropping little facts on people. You're welcome. And so is THC. Sometimes when people are having really bad asthma attacks, they'll just give them straight THC and like a diluted quality. And caffeine is a very, very weak bronchial dilator, just like THC. Anything that, like, oh my god. THC is a much higher level bronchial dilator, but and for reference, a bronchial dilator is something that like makes it easier to breathe, essentially. But like relaxes, muscles. Essentially, it relaxes muscles that could be tight, which is the thing that asthmatics have. Is they basically the problem with asthma is an anti-bronchial dilator. It's a bronchial constrictor, where like randomly your bronchioles will just slowly constrict so that it's harder to breathe. Which is why when you hear asthmatics having a hard time, they like wheeze, and that wheezing sound is the air trying to pass through a smaller space and basically whistling, because everything is closing up essentially. But bronchial dilators are a thing. So if you ever know an asthmatic who's having a hard time and they don't have their inhaler on them and they need to get home to their inhaler or whatever, and they need a little bit of a delay so they can continue to breathe, put a bunch of caffeine in them briefly and it'll help a little bit. It is the smallest help. But there is a kickback. So if you give them caffeine or THC or whatever it is to give them the bronchial dilation, know that when it wears off, it will kick back to being undilated and then they need their actual medication. It is not a permanent solution. It is a stopgap for I need to get this person to their inhaler. Caffeine can kind of help a little bit, and so can the test. How many fucking... Look at all these fucking planks I have. You know how many shields I'm going to be able to make? A fun random fact for you. Okay, so we have done... I think we're out of logs, finally. We're out of ash. And now we can go cut oak. However, I do want to do one thing of... Yes, okay. It's empty. So I want to do one thing of the AFK branches. I forgot where they are. Hickory branches there. Okay. Basically, we need to get up there. All right, let's go. I really wish I could just keep clicking here, but whatever. North we go to hickory branches. Oh, wait, you know what's faster? Hold on. This will be a little faster. Side note, I explored this whole area, but I didn't explore this one spot right here where the lodestone is. And so for a long time, I was running around in here having to run from everywhere, and I couldn't teleport because I just didn't know it was there. But there's a lodestone right here, just so you know, for the future. Don't forget the lodestone. Okay, we're just going to get some hickory branches and then turn them into some chopsticks. No. I want lop, please. Okay. Only like one? One hickory branch? How many do I need for a chopstick? I just want to get the card, essentially. And I'll do this when I log out. The trimming. Okay, we got the free. Get me out of here. Okay. So we got the card. One should be good enough to make it into chopsticks. All right, let's go do that. Let's go make chopsticks. We'll run this way. It's a little bit farther, but it's less things that are going to try and kill me, which is a positive. Although Outlaw is about where I should be, I think. No, I'm at 11. It's not Outlaw yet. I should go find the monsters I have to kill. Why isn't the starting stuff near the starting area? You know what I mean? Like, why do I have to walk so far? Why do I have to walk so far? Okay, into the workshop. All right, that's good to just wait for that to happen now. I can lean back in my chair and stretch. Oh. Hold on, I'm looking something up. Hold on. 55 times 948. Hold on. Okay, distracted. I need a jar. Okay. Where the fuck am I gonna get? Do you own jar? Do you have jars to buy jars from you? No. Where do I buy jars? Oh, do I have to go back to fucking Hopeport? You bitch. You absolute bitches. Maybe we go back to fucking Hopeport to go buy jars from the guy like right over here. Bet you he has jars. Okay. Sorry, still setting up that Secret Santa thing at the same time. Ugh, Lord alive. Hello. Yes, I'd like some fucking jars, please. Thank God they're not a million. Well, 100. Spare, you can save money if you stop buying 100 of everything. Yeah, but 100. Santa list 2024. Crimbus. Okay. Alright, we got our jars. We can go make our single chopstick now. Just to get checked off the list. And then later we'll have the jars for my own use. I don't know what you do with these once you're done with them, though. I guess you just sell them? You know, that'll be nice. Get some money back. Not a whole lot, but AFK myself some money. I don't know how long you AFK the tree cutting, though. We'll have to see. Thankfully, though, it's an AFK thing that doesn't require you to buy a thing to AFK, except because it's the jars. You have to buy the jars, but that'll be fine. That's not a steep price to pay. I acquired Brekkie. Nice. When did you get? I'm gonna guess Farmer Boys. I knew it. How did I know it? You're a psychic. Well, I'm something. One second. wait. Okay. And I'm predictable. Waiting. Yeah. Sorry. I'm now having to juggle my stream and also. Okay, I don't sell them. What do I do with these chopsticks? What do I do with these? Hold on. Brighter Shores chopsticks. What are these for? Chopsticks hickory cutlery. Yes. Crafting them requires a supply of jars and coarse hickory branches. One inventory slot full of a set coarse hickory branches will last 1 hour of passive training. You can obtain coarse hickory branches from Gwen's Lumber in Timberwell Green, or drop them off. Lop them off yourself using the woodcutter profession. Hickory chopsticks can be sold to Timberwell Supplies. Hello? Wait, where's Timberwell Supplies? Is it over here? Timberwell Supplies. Villager? Child? No, you're Hatchet Man. Where the fuck is Timberwell Martin? No. Hold on. Where's Timberwell Supplies? Timberwell Supplies is next to Timberwell Side Road. Oh, it's up here. Cool. So I sell the chopsticks here. Got it. Makes sense. I guess. Okay. Oh, they have jars here. That would have been nice to know. Okay. Look at that. I already made the jar money back. Well, not really. Okay, if it was a full thing, I would have made the jar money back, but I didn't. But good to know. We've made it to the AFK zone. However, we're probably not going to do that just yet. I just wanted those. We're going to go find the rugged oak logs. Where are they? Stump clearing, Canopy Junction, Canopy Lane, Treeway clearing, Cutters clearing, Treeway. They're all up north. Okay. All the oaks are up here. Time to go cut oaks. Ugh. Oh, God. I have to walk them back every time. Golly gosh. This is why we need this. This is so annoying that it's locked behind the fucking... Oh, I'm so tempted to just do AFK stuff. Honestly, it's probably better at this point to train my combat and then use the knowledge points from training combat in order to level up carpentry on its own. Like, legitimately, I think that's probably the best method at this point if I'm doing real-time training. I like this song. See, I would keep this song from Utopia. Actually, you know what? I've hit my goal. It took us 2 hours. I might swap games. I think that's the plan. Let us go set up on the hickory branches. And we'll just set it up to be AFK, and we'll close the game, and we'll swap games. We are going to swap. That's my goal. Because otherwise I would just end stream, but it's like, no, I can just swap games. Something that's fresh to me. You know? Oh, there's a hickory tree. Hello, hickory tree. I will lop you while this man chops you. Wait. What? What? Is hickory not the right tree? Hickory branches. Yeah. Lop. I need baskets too? I only had one basket? Oh my god. Oh my god. How much are baskets? I spent all my gold on jars. I hate it here. I know I could go back to Timberwell Supplies, but this is actually faster to go back through Hope to Hopeport. Fuck. Okay. Hey, bud. How much is a basket? Oh. Well, I can buy 10 of these. 10? 20? 24 baskets. That's a lot of money, but hear me out. So we need baskets and jars for this method, so it actually is basically equivalent to having to buy bait. Okay. That's great. Although you also need... No. Level 200. Christ, dude. Chill. With the fucking killing. Anyway. So, yeah, everything needs gold for the AFK methods. You can't just AFK for free. And you never make back enough that you, like, actually get stuff, and you don't get, knowledge points for AFKing. So... Oh, he died. Yeah. So that's a thing. Alright, Hickory, we're gonna lop you. Alright, AFK activity. Log out. Kablam. Okay. Swap games. What do I want to swap to? Probably just swap to RuneScape. Then I'll have to change the title. And I can keep doing Tithe Farm. Give me a second. We're going to do that real quick, like. Okay, it's swapped. There's that. We open this. Rune Light. Whoops, ignore that. And then I hit this key. Oh, wow, that's my setup. Instantly. Crazy. So RuneScape plugin on. Hold on. Extensions. My extensions. It is on already. Heck yeah. Okay. Hold on, am I actually streaming this? I just got distracted. Yeah, I'm good. Okay. I was like, I got so fucking same game core. Yeah. I don't have to change the title. This is fine. I have no idea if the extension's actually working. But it should. You should be able to see into my inventory and stuff with the extensions in my bank and things like that. Is it still active from last time? This is tithe farming. This is the active way to train farming. Most people hate it for some reason. I don't mind it. It just requires a lot of clicking, which I guess is probably why people don't like it. But I don't like farming as it stands normally because you have to plant your stuff, then you have to wait real life time, and then come back. And I want to grind when I want to grind. I don't want to have to wait. You know, I want to be able to grind out the thing I want to grind without a fucking time gate. Thank you. And I need 70 farming, so here we are. This is why I'm not a huge fan of like birdhouse runs. I like birdhouse runs; they're fun. Not fun. They're useful for hunter. But I will, if I am training hunter, I will do birdhouse runs at the same time that I'm doing actual like hunter rumors and stuff because better way to do it, honestly. All right, it has begun. People have started submitting their stuff for the Secret Santa for the thing I'm working on, or for my friends, my Warhammer buddies. Although they've turned it into a general nerd Secret Santa so that their partners can participate that aren't into Warhammer. Which reminds me, I need to send it off to mine because they said they were interested, though they do not have to continue to be interested if they do not want to. The price range has they've been decided, and it's anywhere from, it's such a crazy huge price range. I know it's because it's Warhammer, but they decided as a group that the price range should be anywhere between $50 and $175. So it is still a high buy-in for minimum. But I guess nerd stuff is usually pretty expensive, and it can like add up to, I don't know. And I guess at the end of the day, you're walking away with something of equal value in theory, but like it's a lot. It's a big fucking Secret Santa. But at least it's not as bad as last year. Last year it was like everyone spent $170 or $160 guaranteed, I think, because we were all buying combat patrols, which are not cheap. Or I forgot how much it was, but it was a large amount, like 75 or 80 there, whatever it was, that we were all like guaranteed to spend because we were all buying the same kind of box, you know? So, and now it's Secret Santa and not White Elephant, which is what it was last time. Anyway, so I'll send that off to my real quick and let them decide if they want to do it or not. I would, yeah. It's entirely up to them. I am doing it of the nature that I'm help running it, so I'm stuck in doing it. If I had known the price range was going to be so high, I might not have done it, but it is what it is. I explain stuff well enough in the thing. Maybe. Yeah. Oh, the music though, it's making me sleep. Here's the kickback, by the way, the kickback from the fucking Red Bull. I feel it. It's hitting. I'm sleepy. Honestly, though, we're going pretty fast with this farming grind. I know I'm only like 54, which is not even close to 70, but like mathematically with the experience needed. But my methods are getting better because as you level up this, you get better seeds. Although the next tier seed, I think, is in like the 70s. And yeah, it's 74, so I probably won't be doing that seed until I go for the 99 or whatever. But yeah, it's 74 and I don't know. So I'm going to be seeing the blue tithe plants for a while. I'm curious how long it would take me to, roughly, like how many hours it is to get to fucking 70 through this, but I'm going to see how much experience I get, because I don't think it scales. Hold on. I'll look it up after I'm done with this run. Like, I don't know if the experience scales or not, or if it's a set amount. And I mean, hello music? What is this? Oh, it's Bug Snacks. I was like, what the fuck is happening? And eventually I will get to a point where I do I'll turn my farm runs into tree runs, which I will do at the same time as Tithe Farm while I'm waiting for them to grow, but because technically tree runs outpace Tithe Farm significantly, and I could be doing trees now, but I really don't want to. I might wait till 60 and start doing U's then, at that point. Maybe then I think that's when I will start swapping over. And then I won't have to worry about allotments anymore. We'll just be doing trees. I've never heard this song before. It's never popped up. Fascinating. Bug snack. So what are you up to this morning, Dandy? What are you doing? I'm doing laundry whilst I wait and Killer Q on DVD. Ah, yeah. Are you doing are you doing 2v8? And if you're doing 2v8, do you want to do 2v8 later as Killer Q? You know. You know. Oh fuck. I was doing when I was doing 2v8 Killer Q, I was actually doing this during my queues, and there were times where like I would be in the part where I have to like you see these little timers on them. If you like run out of time, they die. And there was a couple times in Killer Q where I'd like be at this point where I'm harvesting, and then my Q would pop, and I'd be like, and I would like not ready up and do my best to like do this before the Q popped. Hell yeah, I'm down. Let's go. Cool beans. It's bug snacks, wow. Hey, he's back on OSRS. Did you check me earlier? This music is hilarious for DVD background. You're welcome. It's bug snacks. Don't worry, Canadian. For the next... Once leagues start, I'm going to be like an OSRS only channel for a bit there. Probably. That's just my vibe. It's going to be OSRS for a bit. And it's all going to be leagues. And you're just going to have to suffer through my relic choices and with all that stuff. Even if it's not what you would pick, you're going to have to suffer. Also, I was playing Brighter Shores earlier. It's basically the same thing. Bug snacks. Do you like my names for all my, That's the same thing. Do you like the names I have for all the, my seedlings? All my plants? You got Larry, Barry, Gary, Harry, Mary, Terry, Perry, Carrie, Sherry, Derry, Ferry, Perry. I don't know if Perry twice, but it's a different Perry. Mary, Scary, and Charles. God, look at the name of that fucking song. It's across the entire screen. Get out of here. Oh shit, I finally have enough fucking subscribers that stop giving people the first icon and they're actually getting the egg icon that everyone's supposed to have. Like, the founder icons are great. I'm glad people get them, but at the same time, they miss out on the cool egg icons that the other subs get. Plants. I like the color of the blue ones better. They feel nicer to be around. I don't know why. I like them better than the red ones. The red ones felt aggressive. These feel nice. I like the weird the blue tubers or whatever these are. These plants. Ooh, what's their examine? They also a high source of vitamin. Helps keep you regular. Oh. I see. They had poop plants. They help you poop. Well, good to know. But that's what I'm growing for people. What am I making at the Thai farm? Poop plants. Plants to help you poop. Ow. My jaw has been fucking popping lately, like when I yawn. It hurts. It's annoying. And there's like pressure over on that side of my jaw, like I did something in the night, like popped it out. And the muscles all strained. Ugh. Welcome to being old. Boys got Zaz. What? Elaborate. You've eaten a za? You trying to say pizza? Is that what you're trying to say? Is that... Okay. Sorry, I'm not cool enough to know slang anymore. I'm not skibbity enough. I'm too Ohio. I don't know what the fuck I'm saying. And it's not even like a refusal to learn or anything. It's just like I just don't have the energy to put into it anymore. I'm stuck in my ways now. My brain is fully cooked. I'm gonna be this way forever. Whatever way I am now is the way I've been cooked. It is who I am. Wonder how weird it is for the dude who made the fucking Skibbity Toilet video or whatever, that his weird, like, Half-Life 2 or, like, Gary's Mod comedy, like, absurdist video literally had a change in the landscape of how children speak across an entire generation. Like, it added a slang, like, a word for slang across an entire generation. You know how weird that must feel? Be like, yeah, I did that. I literally typed a random fucking thing and it became slang for an entire group of people. Yeah, for real. I also have no idea how he's profiting, because I'm seeing like his weird like fucking blind boxes or whatever in Target. I have no idea how the hell he's profiting off of that, because it literally is using the intellectual property of Valve. Like, it has G-Man in it, and G-Man is their property. I don't understand how he's making money off of it, but whatever. Because it's not even like legally distinct G-Man on it, on that cover or whatever. It is just him. From what I remember, what I saw. I don't know. I don't know, man. It's wild. Memes are weird. And memes have always existed in one form or another. Like, the original meme is like myths, you know, that people would use to like, oh, you know, whatever, Rome wasn't fucking built in a day, or fucking, and that's not a myth, but you know what I mean. Myths and shit in general were the original meme, like a mnemonic gene that passed on, and now it's like a single phrase or whatever. There's a people in Star Trek at one point. I think it's Next Generation, and their whole thing is that they speak in stories. They don't have their own, like, they don't. It's weird because the art. So they are being translated. They have their own language, but they only really speak in like referential stories. So they'll say stuff like "When the Walls Fell" or somebody and Tarlock or whatever, and what they're saying, they're just saying that name, but they're saying, it's like saying if someone's like, oh yeah, they're like, you could describe an entire concept to someone of how people are if you look at them and go like, oh, Romeo and Juliet. You know? You've just described an entire scenario. They know what you're saying, but you've just said 2 words. And it's the same way with, they're like Tarlock and Tanagra, or whatever the fuck the names are. And the people go, ah, yeah, and they know what they're saying. And the entire language is built off of this idea of just referencing things that have already existed, you know? And so the universal translators that everyone has installed in their body can't translate it because they're translating the words directly, so they're getting what they're saying, like when the walls fell. It sounds like with the words when the walls fell, but they don't know the cultural reference. So they believe that the translators are just having a hard time with their language. It turns out no, they're making references to culture that not everyone knows. And the question is, how do you tell those stories without a language with which to tell those stories? There's a bit of a problem there, but it's possible that all these stories were told in the past and it became memes enough that no one uses the regular language anymore in the way it used to be used, you know? But the reason I bring it up is that it's possible that with enough memes, we could go that direction. Maybe not entirely, but like we kind of already do it a little bit. You know? Like we already kind of do a little bit of like storytelling and referencing those stories with quick phrases in order to get ideas across. I'm glad people like you exist. You watch Star Wars and make it relatable to me, Talking Bird. Star Trek, for the record. Actually, it's Star Trek. Yeah, no, it's true. Everything's relatable everywhere. You know, you can find ways to, and you know what? In fact, hold on, fucking meta for a second here. What I just did, where I said, you know what that reminds me of? That reminds me of this episode of Star Trek, and I referenced a fucking episode of Star Trek in order to get a point across. I did the exact same thing I was just talking about in terms of saying something as a reference in order for people to know what I'm talking about. That's a story, you know? And now, if I were to say to you, like, Shaka when the walls fell, you know what I'm referencing because I've explained it, you know? And I can use that as shorthand for someone talking in meme speak, and now you know, you know? And I'm also doing the same thing with my memes. It's wild. It's wild how, like, how Ouroboros self-eating that thing is, that whole concept. Ugh. Alright, I got a little bit of time farming in me. I'm probably going to go to about 3 hours, probably about 15 more minutes and just finish up on OSRS here. And then I'll probably head out for a bit because I want to go do other things. But, pretty soon, the stream, Canadian, just to let you know, OSRS all the time. It'll be leaks, you're going to hate my relic choices, and it's going to be great. Yeah, I have no idea what I want to go for yet in terms of like masteries or relics or anything like that. I'm going to have to sit down and plan once it's funny, the releases, like the teasers, are coming out and they're putting the teasers up right to the very last day. And so I'm not going to be able to make a plan for what I want to do until literally the day before it starts. But I will have that day to sit down and plan, and I will be doing that, and hopefully I can follow my plan. The plan is ever changing. Yeah, exactly. The plan is ever changing until I get there. Or, actually, no, that's not it either. The plan might change when I get there too. But like, I want to, because last league I didn't plan. I just kind of went with whatever the fuck I wanted, which was fun, and I enjoyed that. But there were some things that were kind of wasted because I did that, and so I want to be more particular in my choices this time. Like if let's say I pick my regions, and my regions are Tiranwin, Mauritania, and Varlamore. Like that was my original like wish list of what I wanted to do. Let's say those are my regions. I actually have a bunch of conflicting things there because I wanted to go to Mauritania for Barrows, right? I wanted to go to Tiranwin for Crystal Armor and like Bofa and stuff like that, and I wanted to go to Varlamore for like a Montgo Weedle set and like Blood Moon armor or whatever. All of that stuff is like the same tier of armor essentially, And the echo bosses from those 3 areas all drop gloves. So I'd only have fancy gloves. I wouldn't be able to wear several echo items. And I don't think I could do Echo Soul Herod anyway. But like Echo Hunlith and Echo what is it, Furies, Gargoyles, whatever the fuck they are. Though those 2 drop gloves. So it's like, do I even, like, is that even helpful? Do I care about the echo items? So am I even going to factor those into my plan? Like, am I going to ignore them because there's unlikely that I'm actually going to be able to do those bosses? Like, do I want to make sure I have a raid? So, like, do I want to get Desert so I could do TOA and actually be able to potentially get something like a T-Bow? You know? Because you can get T-Bows, you can get everything from every raid right now. Like, all the mega rares you can get from all the raids. You just get a mega rare token. Like, that kind of stuff. Do I want to get that? Do I think it's even worth going for? Or do I want to just like go to places where there are bosses that I want to learn, like the gauntlet I want to learn with, and having a little bit of a bonus for learning the gauntlet would be nice, you know? I don't know. It's ever changing. So I need to see all of the, and I kept trying to make a plan early. Like I'd see the reveals and go, okay, this is my plan. That was not working because they kept putting out reveals that changed everything about my plan. And so now I'm just waiting. I'm just waiting for all the reveals so I can choose my plan and go, okay, I know what's happening now. I can choose a plan without like having it be thrown out of the fucking out of everywhere. All I know is that I'm probably taking Banker's Note because I didn't take Banker's Note last time and I want to give it a try. And then I'm also probably going to take let's see, they just put out a new relic stuff recently. It was like Thieving Agility or Herblore. I'm probably gonna take the Herblore one. Like those 2 I know for sure. Because Banker's Note's useful, and having herbs sent to your bank every like 5 ticks or something, whatever it was, is insane. So I'll just take like going out and skilling and coming back to my bank with a fuckload of herbs. Wow, RuneScape looks pretty good. Hey, Chris, how's it going, dude? Yeah, I have a plugin on that makes it look better, and it doesn't actually ignore the weird little squares that are clipping through things. That's a thing I've also put on the screen that's not normal, but yeah, it looks all right. Ultra RuneScape's a good time. I recommend it. It's fun. It's really good. It's a really good game for if you like games that let you set a goal and work towards it for many, many hours and have lots of sub goals for that goal. It's a perfect game for that. I figured it's just RuneScape stuff. I mean, it can be. I have it on here. Hold on. Tile markers. Is there like a tile indicators? Nope, that's still on. That's not that. What's the fucking what's called? Oh, ground markers. That's what it normally looks like. But I have them on because and the blue square is something I've turned on too. Just because it's fun to me to have names. If you ever want to play a game that you don't actually play, OSRS is for you. That's not true. If you want to play a game that you don't actually play, you can get an idle game like Melvor Idle or something. Do you know what's a great game? Idle game, actually? There's an idle game called Realm Grinder. And it's like a fantasy idle game where you have like a realm for some parts, but like full on in Realm Grinder, for example, there's a you can, whenever you make a new realm, like whenever you prestige a realm, you basically choose what kind of citizens you want, what kind of buildings you want, and I choose the undead usually, and part of what makes the undead good is that they gain more power the longer you're offline. So I play Idle Grind or Realm Grinder by not playing Realm Grinder. I set up my undead, I wait 6 months, I come back, I open it again, you know? Hey, your AQP worked. Nice. It finally worked. Ooh, collect fruit. More planting. Plant seed. What's the goal? Farming. Like, I know Tide Farm is actually pretty terrible for experience once you can plant trees, but I'm waiting to get to 60 so that I can, because I'm basically there. Waiting until I get to 60 so I can plant yews, and I'm gonna need to do a little wood cutting before I can chop down my yews. But then I'm gonna plant yews and do tree runs, or I might just clear the tree. I might not even chop it. We'll see. But do tree runs and at the same time that I'm doing Tide Farm, because or do tree runs while I do other stuff. But the point is, the main goal is 70. If I could do 70 entirely through Tide Farm and it wouldn't be that bad, I'd probably do that. But I know it's going to slow down considerably, so. Because I like being able to sit down and train a skill. I mean, I do like AFK methods too, but like, I don't like farming being time-gated AFK. If it was AFK where I get to choose how long I'm AFK or whatever, that's different. I like that. I don't like time-gated AFK stuff where I can go do something else, weirdly. Because I like to pick, like I said last time, I think, I like to pick one thing and just do that one thing. I don't like to like juggle various things at once. So I do Tide Farm because I want farming experience, but I don't want to have to like multitask. So I'm doing farming experience through Tide Farm. And I think I'm actually really close to being able to plant white lilies. Yeah, they're 58. Oh god, my throat is so. I mean, my nose is fucking full. My throat is full. Today is an allergy day. Woo. Chris, do you watch Star Trek? You feel like the kind of guy that would watch Star Trek. I don't know why I think that, but you look like, you know, I think you look like someone who'd watch Star Trek. But like having talked to you, I don't think you've watched Star Trek. Oh, well, I mean, he could still be here. I'll just ask him later. Just because he stopped talking doesn't mean he left. I will just message him. Because he gives the vibe when you look at him. When you talk to him, he doesn't. When you talk to Chris, he doesn't look like it doesn't sound like he watches Star Trek. But if you look at him and go, that guy watches Star Trek. You know? My buddy Connor's the same way. I guess just ginger people. Anyone who's ginger, you look at them, you're like, you watch Star Trek. Dude, you don't have to shame him like that. No, it's a compliment. Star Trek people are cool. So I added a weather mod, so sometimes it rains. Look at that. Look at the weather. Listen to the thunder. It's not raining in here because I'm inside a building, but outside, it's raining. It's super neat. I like the ambiance. Oh, there's no game audio. Fucking no one ever notices when there's no game audio for RuneScape because the audio is so fucking quiet. This guy really said Star Trekkers are cool. Yeah, they can be. I mean, not always. People that are like obsessed with it, okay, well, people that are obsessed with anything though are, you know, an issue. Take me and my fucking, and my, what's it called? My Warhammer stuff. Like, asking about Warhammer and it'll talk your ear off for like an hour. That's yeah, that's less cool. I don't understand Warhammer. Okay. You've just said a very dangerous thing. What part do you not understand? See if I can help. But you have just said something very dangerous near me, and that, not in that I'd be angry, but that you've just activated the fucking trap card. Like, what even is it? Is that your question? Or like, what's wrong? Do you not understand the world? Like, what part of it is are you stuck on? and see if I can enlighten you. They have games that have Warhammer in the title, but just Left 4 Dead with a skin. Okay. So, Warhammer, or games that are a different game. Yeah. Warhammer is a series of sort of worlds. Not worlds, but like, how do I describe this better? I always struggle with how to describe this. Essentially, Warhammer is a setting. 40,000 of them, yeah. So Warhammer is a setting. It's actually multiple settings. There's two main settings. You have Warhammer Age of Sigmar, which is a fantasy setting, sort of like elves, dwarves, whatever. And then Warhammer 40k is a science fiction setting. So like spaceships and guns and power armor and aliens and stuff. Okay. They share some similarities, like they have the same gods and stuff like that, but they are not the same universe. They are two separate settings, essentially, that are the backdrop for things like games and books and TV shows and things like that. It's the equivalent of like Star Wars, where there's like different Star Wars games. Like there might be a Star Wars game that's an RTS, there might be a Star Wars game that's a roguelike, you might have a Star Wars game that's an RPG. Warhammer's the same way. It is a world, or it is a setting that is basically fertile ground for whatever you want to make for it. Whether it's, and there's a lot of books, for example, there's a lot of books. There's a lot of, all made by different authors. There's a lot of different games that are of different styles. There's also the main tabletop game where you buy miniatures and paint them and then use them to play like war games. That's like a main thing. There's tabletop RPGs. There's like literally anything you can think of. It's just a setting that people use for these things. And it's a really fun and interesting setting, which is why it gets used so frequently, why people like it so much. I go back and forth on whether I dig the fantasy setting more than the sci-fi setting, but at the moment I'm in a fantasy kick, so I'm more of into Age of Sigmar. However, I do know more than about 40k because my 40k kicks have been longer and have been more lasting. And I started with Warhammer 40k when I was in middle school, so I know more about that and I have more of that in my brain. But at the moment I'm in a fantasy kick, and maybe that's because it's new, you know. So that's the gist of what it is. It's basically just a place in which to set your thing. So if you look up something that has Warhammer. How does a middle schooler get into Warhammer? My buddy was into Warhammer and he told me about it. It was just a cool thing. There was like, there's this cool thing, and there's like Space Marines, and there's like evil Space Marines, and I was like, there's evil Space Marines, and then I like, it's like, I want to play the evil Space Marines. Yeah, basically that's it. The same way your friend gets you into Magic, the same way your friend gets you into RuneScape or whatever, it was like, I'm doing this thing, I'm interested in this thing, let me tell you about it. Yeah. So it was just like a setting. And then at one point we all bought codexes and brought them to school and just like compared our codexes, which was really fun. How'd you know my friend got me into RuneScape? Everyone's friend got them into RuneScape. I was the friend that got people into RuneScape. That was me. I mean, not for you, but for other people, that was me. I was one like, there's this cool game called RuneScape, which I discovered because someone else told me that there's this cool game called RuneScape. Although he tried to sell it to me in a weird way. When I was told about RuneScape, the guy who told me about it said, there's this cool game called RuneScape where you can get a girlfriend. And I was like, 7? I didn't even fully understand what a girlfriend, like what that even meant. I was like, whoa, really? And he's like, yeah, you can get a girlfriend, but don't put a beard on your character because people will call you old. And I was like, okay. And I immediately forgot that and got so lost in the world of RuneScape with the fucking armor and the doing cool stuff that like skilling. Oh man, I was told that I could kill giant rats. See, everyone got a thing. And it wasn't even a selling point to me that like I could. It wasn't, the girlfriend thing wasn't actually the selling point to me. What it was that I was like, oh, it's a world where I can talk to people online and hang out and have my own little world. That's cool, and that's what got me interested. You know. And then for my friends, I gave it to like, oh, it's a game we can play together, we can like adventure together and stuff. And so I got a bunch of my friends into RuneScape. And it actually was the basis for a lot of their usernames. I think I talked about this a little bit ago. But I had a certain username. My username was, you know, a breakfast food related thing. It was waffle something. And I told my friends, like, hey, my username is waffle something. We should all have breakfast usernames that are similar so that we can show off that we're friends or whatever. Yeah, that's fair. But I was 7. I didn't really give a shit. Anyway, we all had breakfast usernames, but one of my friends misunderstood me, and he thought I said not that my name was waffle something and he should get a different breakfast name. He just thought, oh, he thought that I wanted him to name himself waffle something. So he tried to use the username that I had, but it was already taken. So he used one that was slightly different. And so we have very similar usernames, or we did for a long time. Until my waffle account got banned because I was scamming passwords as a child. But I'm going to scoot right past that. Anyway. But getting that account banned was a great eye-opener for like, oh shit, I shouldn't do that. This is actually bad. But yeah, the yeah, I don't know. It was an interesting time. But a couple of my other friends kept their usernames. Like, one of them still uses one of the waffle ones. Another one of the others uses, like, fucking, omelet something, you know? Like, omelet's part of his username because that was his username on RuneScape, even though he barely played RuneScape with us. He just liked the name. And so it stuck. So I have a couple of like people that are like around me in my existence that have like breakfast usernames because of me, because of RuneScape. Also, normally I like to save up for 300 in the sack, but I'm just gonna do 200, I think. The thing with 300 is then it's an empty sack and you don't have to worry about like overflowing it or whatever, but we're close enough to 200 that like I might just finish it out and then I'm gonna go do other stuff. Actually, no, I want to do the 300 because if I don't do the 300, then there's extra in the sack that are left over, and it's just a fucking because each sack deposit can hold 75, but you get a bonus for every 100. So it behooves you to do a multiple of 75 and 100, and so in order to like. To make it so that 75 go in every time, but I do a multiple of 100, I need 300. Like, that's where 75 and 100, like, meet, essentially. So for the perfect reward amount that doesn't overflow the sack and also gives me the bonus for getting 100, it's 300. Oh, the other day I did a 600 drop, which was the same thing, but it was nice. I went from, like 49 to 54 or something. Which was like 4 hours of work. Like, it's not, again, it is not faster than regular farming. But I like it better because I don't have to wait. I feel like I'm doing something, you know? Okay, here's the plan. We are going to raid Goop. Goop just started streaming. She's not playing old school RuneScape. She's going to be playing We Love Katamari, which is a great game. So we're going to go do that. Yeah. We're gonna go raid Goop quietly, and in my stream button. So, thank you for stopping by. I appreciate you guys. I will see you tomorrow. Not tomorrow. What the fuck am I saying? See you tomorrow. See you next time. I don't know when I'm gonna stream again. It might be tomorrow. I'm probably gonna wait till Leagues, honestly. But once League starts, man, I might even stream that whole fucking day just playing League. We'll see. I'm very, 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 very hyped for Leagues. But yeah, I will see you guys later. We're gonna go say hi to Goop. Go give her some love. She's playing Katamari. That's a great fucking game. Yeah. So, thanks for coming by. I can't click the raid now button. I don't know why it's taking so long to. It'll go eventually. Yeah, so there's gonna be Leagues for the next little bit. If there's anything else, I don't know if there's anything else I want to add. Go check out Warhammer stuff, Canadian. Go check it out and come back to me. Or actually, go to my YouTube channel. I have a whole fucking 4-hour PowerPoint about Warhammer. Have fun. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm on my raid thing right now. It's weird that it's not going.